the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do LinkedIn, huh? We're going to have a LinkedIn?
I'm doing it.
What is it? You got to stream to something else?
We have the software on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I got to download it on yours, so you can do it.
The LeBron rhymes.
But you're live right now.
Hey, Instagram, welcome. Great to have you here. If you see anybody important in there other than everybody, because everybody is important, I'm going to be doing in 10 minutes, I'm going to be doing a live real estate webinar, free. The website is grantcardone.com/REI. It's probably up in the link, grantcardone.com/REI.
It's pinned.
Just want to let you guys know this. In your backyard, in your neighborhood, there is a $1 million real estate deal. I'm talking about $1 million of profit waiting for you and your family. You don't need money, you don't need credit, but you need to know what you're looking for. So in the today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at grantcardone.com/REI, I'm going to be doing a webinar on why real estate for the next decade will prove to be one of the top 3 investments you can make on this planet. The problem with the real estate, I know some of you want to compare real estate to Bitcoin or the stock market. The difference is you don't have to buy the stock market and you don't have to buy Bitcoin. You have to spend money on real estate. So you're either going to be affected by it because you live in it and pay for it, or you're going to be affected because of it because you live in it and make money on it. Most people live in a piece of real estate today. There are some people living on the streets, but most people live in a piece of real estate and or want a piece of real estate. What I'm going to show you today is not a choice. It's not Bitcoin, it's not stocks. You have to do this, okay? You don't have to buy a car. You could just Uber everywhere you go. You have to have a place to live. So you're either going to pay big rent. That's happening right now, and I've been talking to you guys about that. Or you can be the landlord and collect the rent and own the real estate and take the write-offs and make the money. So today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's completely free. I want to show you how to do this. I've helped a lot of people with real estate.
What was the most important real estate deal you ever did?
The most important real estate deal I ever did was, there's 2 that I remember. Number 1, the first one, and number 2, all the ones I didn't do that I should have done. So number 1's the first deal. The first 2 deals I ever did were the most important real estate deals I ever did. The first one I did with $3,500. I didn't even need to put that down. Now that I know what I know, I didn't even need to give the $3,000, but I didn't know what I didn't know. The second deal, the first deal was $78,000. Those deals are available in your backyard right now. In Miami Beach, I can buy a deal for $80,000 still today. That was 30 years ago. I paid $78,000 for that deal. So I put $3,500 down. It was easier to get that loan than it was to get a car loan, for sure. Why? Because the real estate produces income and a car doesn't. Number 2, and my credit wasn't that good when I bought my first house. The second deal I did was 35 days, maybe 40 days later, and I bought that deal. It was $125,000. I bought that deal with no money down, nothing, not a penny, not even the application fee. Everything was built into the purchase. I ended up making $50,000 or $55,000 on that deal. I shouldn't have sold it. And I'll be showing you this today. I'm going to be showing you in your market. If you live in Cleveland, you live in Chicago, where do you guys live? Post below where you live.
LinkedIn over here. And LinkedIn Live.
You guys, LinkedIn Live, welcome. Hey, I'm going to be doing a real estate webinar, completely free. I will not attempt to sell you anything, okay? I promise I will not try to sell you anything at this event. Some of you are so terrified. You're like, oh my God, if I go listen, maybe I'll buy something. What I want to do is I want to show you how to buy real estate. The game here is to buy the real estate, to own real estate that produces income and big tax write-offs. I'm going to show you how you can do this today. Post in comments where you live, and maybe I pick your city today. San Antonio's here. We got Cincinnati and
Dallas, Switzerland, Nepal.
Dallas, Switzerland, Nepal.
Florida.
Look, these deals are all over the world, by the way. They're in Dubai and they're in Detroit. Where?
Kentucky.
That's
South
Jared
Africa.
talking. Y'all can't see Jared talking. They're in South Africa.
Romania.
In fact, we're going to go to Africa this year in 2022, before 2022, and I'm looking at buying real estate in Africa. Costa Rica is hot. All right? You name it. In every city in the world, from Singapore to Cincinnati, from Los Angeles to Laos, okay? From New Mexico to Mexico City. I'm telling you, I don't care where you are. I know you guys got a bunch of excuses. Oh, it's too expensive now. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, I don't have any credit. Quit giving me the excuses. I'm going to show you how to buy the real estate without the dough, without the credit. The one thing you got to have is the know-how. What are you looking for? What asset class are you looking for? What kind of real estate are you looking for? The website's grantcardone.com/REI. grantcardone.com/REI. You want to move that one over there so I'm looking at both of these the same way because I mean it's like wang. You know, they got me. They got me. What's
That's
her name?
like when
who makes those wedding Wang? Who's the Wang?
Vera Wang.
Vera Wang. I'm like Vera Wang. Wang. I don't know whether to make a wedding dress for him or her. So that was for Ryan. So
What does that even mean?
guys, make sure you join this. Come with a legal pad. Grab your legal pad, okay? Take notes because I am going to show you today how to find one deal that will make you a real estate veteran. All you need is one deal. Once you put one deal, the second deal gets easier, the third deal easier. We have $2.5 billion worth of real estate today. I started with $3,000. Can we get my bag? I just want to show you guys what $3,000 looks like. Uh-oh, it's not here. No, it's not here, man. Damn it.
What's the catch?
Okay. No, I don't have it. I normally have it in my bag.
There's 1,000.
Okay. So this is $1,000 right here. Okay, $1,000. Grab that computer I just dropped. In the computer, that's $3,000. There's 3 times that. In this computer, that's $3,000. What's the computer cost today?
$1,800.
That's what I bought my first deal with. Okay, $1,000 and basically a computer. That deal got me started. Don't worry about how much money I made on the first deal. Dude, it got me in the game. My second deal, take the computer and the money back, cost me $0. Actually, I got money at closing. I made money out of the closing. On those 2 deals, I got started in real estate. I made money on both those deals. The money I made was insignificant. The point is I got started. Today we have $2.5 billion worth of real estate, which is freaking amazing, like mind-blowing to me. I can't even believe it. But what's even crazier, they just gave me this sheet of paper today, and I'll be going over all of this. I have sold, in addition to the 2.5 that I have sold
What's $4 billion?
$359 million worth of real estate that I shouldn't have sold, that today would be worth double that. That probably cost me $400 million selling it. But I made money on it, so I'm happy.
You made $100 million.
I made $103 million on those. I've already gotten rid of that, and I still got $2.5 billion worth of real estate. And I've helped a lot of people play this game. Whether you want to invest on yourself, you want to invest with me, whatever you want to do, I'm cool. Okay, so I want to show you guys, this is a give back today. Giving back has always been a big benefit to me. It's always been beneficial to me spiritually and economically, actually.
And the truth is that real estate gives more people the opportunity to generate wealth.
Can you stay with me
anything
on
else.
this? We got to get on the same page. I was talking about something else.
No, you weren't.
Now you're, yeah, but I was talking about the give back.
Well,
Giving back,
part of the
helping
give back.
people out. No, giving back, helping people back. It always pays me dividends. Spiritually, it pays me a dividend, and somehow, some way, we get connected with the right people that want to learn the game. Now, you were saying,
And I was just saying, part of the give back.
dude, it's an easy game to get into. Like, this is easier than buying Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you got to go take your cash, create an account. You got to learn about something, figure out the entry point. With real estate, man, look, you cannot get a loan on Bitcoin. You cannot borrow money to buy Bitcoin, and you cannot borrow money to buy stocks. You can have stocks and then borrow against the stocks, but you have to do that first. In real estate, you can get the loan to get started on the real estate. So the advantages are unbelievable. And I'm not saying you should do one. The website, though, I'm saying you should do this. Go to grantcardone.com/REI. We're going to start in 4 minutes.
It's free.
4 minutes,
This
it's
way.
free. Okay? Come to the legal pad. This is not a pitch. I'm going to pitch you on how to either pay for real estate the rest of your life and be a slave, or learn how to play the game. You can do it with yourself. You can do it with investors. I'll show you how to raise money. I'll show you how to do little deals, big deals. I'll show you how to do everything between. I'll show you how to lend money on deals if you got a bunch of cash and you don't want to be in the real estate business. I'll show you how to do it without being a landlord. okay, without taking a phone calls, all right? So we're going to start in 3 minutes, grantcardone.com/REI, grantcardone.com/REI. There's 101,849 people have registered for this event. 101,000, is that the
More, it's 104,000 right now.
Yeah.
it's 104,849 people have registered for this event. Okay? That's crazy.
Insane.
This is the greatest real estate cycle I've ever lived in 35 years of my life. So this is not over. This is the beginning of a super cycle. I'm telling you, it's a super cycle. You'll see this in the news. You're going to see Ray Dalio start using my super cycle because he ripped me off on cash is trash. Okay, he ripped me off on that, and that's cool because when people start emulating you and acknowledging you, they're gonna copy you, and it's just a form of what?
Flattery.
Flattery. Okay. There's some. So grantcardone.com/REI. We'll have a lot of fun in the next 2 hours. grantcardone.com/REI. Okay. Make sure that you're not. Tell your kids, leave me alone. I want to learn about real estate. Give me 2 hours of your undivided attention. Stop doing whatever you're doing. I'm going to show you how to make $1 million on one deal. One deal, maybe your first deal. $1 million on your first deal. Okay, you guys think that's crazy? I'll show you how I've done it over and over and over again. I'll show you a deal I did with $400,000. I made $23 million on that deal. And I was paid the entire time I was in the deal. Remember the bed bugs, Ryan? Bed bugs at Somerset?
Mm-hmm.
Were you around for Somerset?
Summerstone. Yeah.
Bed bugs, the fire,
Oh.
the units that got burnt down. Okay, so look, grantcardone.com/REI. Why are you standing over me like this? grantcardone.com/REI. How to invest in real estate. Welcome. Ryan, you need to run the room. Bring some other people in. grantcardone.com/REI. We're going to be going live on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. But the only place you can see the notes and the goodies and the deals and the math is grantcardone.com/REI. If you want to see the math and learn the game, you got to go to grantcardone.com/REI, grantcardone.com/REI. You got to register. I got to know where to send the link to, grantcardone.com/REI. I will not try to sell you anything today. But I will try to sell you on one thing. You need to start buying real estate that you can rent to other people. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get rich like this. I did. And if I did, you can. And if you can, you have to figure this out because you're either going to pay for the real estate or you're going to pay for the real estate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Jared? You're either going to pay or you're going to pay.
You either going to pay?
You're going to be affected by real estate. You cannot get away from this. You have to have a place to live in. So why don't you figure out how to own it and then own the neighbor? And then own the neighborhood. And then become the sheriff. The mayor.
Bang, bang.
That's right.
We're going to be giving away hats. I'm going to autograph a bunch of hats and give them away. Are we ready to roll?
We're
Yeah.
ready.
Ready to go live?
Yeah, we're ready to
Okay.
go live.
I'm going to be autographing a bunch of hats, sending them out to people that show up, just random craziness. We're going to be giving away helicopter trips today. By the way, we got, I don't know, how many of those can we give away? Like 10 or 15, 20?
Yeah, we can give
We
away
get about
two.
20 helicopter trips away, put you up in my Augusta 139 Leonardo, originally a Leonardo 139 military VVIP cocooned
All right, it's showtime. It's showtime.
helicopter, give you a flight over, scare the shit
All
out
right,
of you.
everybody on LinkedIn Live, IG, we're going to give you guys a little sneak preview, but if you want to watch the whole training, you got to go to grantcardone.com/REI
And this is the book,
register now.
And this is the book that I'm going to be going over. You'll get the PowerPoint. You'll walk through the whole thing. I'm going to show you the math, my rules, what I look for. Okay, I'm going to show you the exceptional assets in your city. I'll take cities from people that are on today. I'm going to show you how to find a deal in real time, what price to pay, what the returns are going to be, and how to turn it into $1 million of profit.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll.
All right.
Light it up, Johnny.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh, I was
1.
muted the whole time.
No, just right now.
Oh, okay.
You are live.
Hey, welcome to the real estate. What do we call this? What is the name of it?
This
Other
is
than
the
how to
real
make a bunch of
This is
money.
live, real estate live training.
Yeah, so welcome. I want to welcome 104,000. Can you give me an updated number? So I know what the number is. It's a ridiculous.
106,284.
How many?
106,284.
106. Jared, I love you. 284. I just want to welcome and give the 106,000 people an opportunity to come in and show up. Hopefully you guys have registered. Congratulations that you were able to show up and see it all the way through. So many people commit to stuff and then don't do it, which means they really didn't commit. My name's Grant Cardone. If you don't know who I am, thank you for signing up. I guess we found you hit some link and said, hey, I want to see this real estate thing. What I'm going to be doing over the next 2 hours, and you need to allot 2 hours for this, at least 2 hours. I'm going to be showing you, my goal is to show you how to find one deal in your city, where you live, right now, this year, before the year's over, how to find one deal that will change your life forever. And I'm going to show you how I've done it. I'm going to show you what I've learned. I'm going to share with you every secret that I have learned over 35 years of buying real estate. Just so you understand why I'm qualified to do this is, number one, I want to do it. I want to help you. I'm interested in helping other people. I've always been a teacher and educator, and the more I give to other people, the more I give back. The more I give back to other people, the better I do in my life, the better I feel about myself. So I have bought, today we own $2.5 billion worth of real estate. I'll show you that today.
You want to introduce your sidekick for the day?
Oh yeah, my sidekick is Jerry Glant. I forgot about my sidekick. Don't want to leave him out.
I'll be here today, narrating today, guys.
Okay, Jared's going to be helping me. $2.5 billion worth of real estate is what I own today. What a lot of people don't know is I have sold $400 million worth of real estate. Okay, that by the way, that real estate today is probably worth $800 million. And I sold it. It's a mistake. I shouldn't have sold it. But there's a reason I sold it, and there will be a reason why you have to sell stuff along the way that I'll go over. Okay. Now we're not going to start with big deals today. I'm going to start with little tiny deals so you can get your head wrapped around it. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this right now in 2021. What I'm going to be sharing with you while I'll be talking about some of these deals, I just want to tell you that I did not start in the real estate game thinking about $2 billion. I started in the real estate game thinking about, basically, I wanted $10,000 a year in passive income. That's how small I was thinking in the beginning. I just want an extra $1,000 a month in passive income. My first deal, okay, would not have achieved that, but almost that. My second deal achieved that. I did 2 deals with almost no money that would have got me to $10,000 a year. That's $1,000 a month. Doesn't seem like a lot of money. Okay, this was again 25 years ago, so that's like $36,000 a year, right? Because of inflation. I'm going to show you how to do this in 2021. I'm going to show you how to get passive income. I'll be talking about investors today, how to get investors. I'll show you how to do it with no credit. I'll show you how to do it with no money. I'll show you how to do it in your backyard. I'll show you on-market deals, off-market deals, and I'm going to go on my computer. Everything I show you today will be validated in real time on my computer, showing you this isn't some fluff and bullshit. This isn't something that happened 50 years ago. I was doing deals last week. We closed 3 deals last week. So there's a lot of real estate educators out there, and you guys should study. You should tap into them. You should learn whatever you can from them. There is no one in the marketplace today teaching real estate that is doing more deals than I am doing. Okay? Nobody.
That's right. That's a fact.
We did last week. Now remember, I started with $3,500. My first deal was $3,500. I'll be going over that deal today. My second deal cost no money and was $125,000. That deal today is worth over $1 million. It's probably worth $1.4 million, okay? And I shouldn't have sold it, but I had to because I needed the money to do more deals. I'll explain that. That deal, I'll promise you, that deal is available in your city today. Mm-hmm. Is it raining?
No.
Okay. I can find that deal in your city right now today and buy that deal with, guess what? No money. I can buy that deal with no money down today, and I'll show you how to do that deal. I know some of you thinking, it's impossible. No, it's not. So a couple things I need you to do. 1, have an open mind today. Number 2, I need you to put your excuses off to the side. Okay, the two excuses that most people have is this. Number one, I don't have any money, and number two, I don't have any credit. I can do these deals with no money and no credit. Okay, so put those two excuses aside and just be committed to this one thing. Because there's one thing you have to do real estate. You need information. Okay, you can do it without the money and you can do it without the credit. You cannot do it if you don't know what the hell you're looking for. All right, so a couple things we're going to be doing today. For some of you here that want to go deeper with me than the 2 hours, we want to tell you that we have put something together for you. If you want to take advantage of it, take advantage of it. It's stupid, ridiculous offer. You need this? It's a ridiculous offer, and I'm going to be giving away hats today, so stay. I'm going to be giving away hats, all kinds of stuff for people that stay till the end. We said we were going to give away
10 trips on the helicopter.
Yeah, you guys that stay to the end, we're going to give 10 or 15, maybe 20 people a free trip on an Augusta 139.
To look at deals.
Can you show a clip, Johnny, while we're waiting for people to log in? Can you just show this video? This thing is a beast. This is what I used to tour the city to look at real estate deals. Oh my God, that is so ridiculous. And that's right there outside my condo right there. I think I threw a cup of coffee at him. Yeah. So you can see 10x under that. That's a real helicopter. That's not a Photoshop. Those are real. Those are 45-foot wings. 2 engines. 195 miles an hour. 3.5-hour range. It can pick up its weight. It can pick up another helicopter its size. Wow. And carry it around. Okay? So we're going to give away. You guys just stay to the end. Stay to the end. If you're on the end, we're going to call your name out at the end. If you're here and you're on the call, then we're going to give you the trip. If you're not on the call, if you couldn't stay, whatever, we're going to go to somebody else.
So if you want to take advantage of this offer right now, it includes the
and
introduction.
you don't have to buy the offer, by the way. You don't have to buy the offer.
This is just because we know that people want to go deeper faster.
Yeah, so,
people that trust you, people that, and they've just been waiting for this program to get put an offer together like this. This is the introduction to buying apartments, about a 20-hour course where Grant's going to go through how to find deals, buy deals, what price to pay, how to get money from the debt, from the bank, or hard money lenders, or your family or friends, how to increase cash flow, the mistakes people make when investing, how you profit from deals. It's literally a soup to nuts program from A to Z. In addition, for the first 200...
Never done this before. Go ahead.
Yeah, for the first 250 people that take advantage of this, we're going to include a live seat at our real estate 3-day summit where Grant's going to live at the JW Marriott here right down the street. Grant's going to deliver 3 days of training on real estate, and you're going to get access to a live seat from that.
Everybody, a live seat. So everybody can take advantage of this today. We will talk about this offer later, but before we start, it's only $9.97. You get the resource book, the ultimate resource book. This is like every
tenant docs, GL codes, underwriting formulas, settlement agreements.
Even every broker, every major broker in the United States, and their phone number, how to call them, the scripts, how to talk to them, the due diligence, how to underwrite a deal, everything I use to underwrite and buy a deal.
And there's probably $50,000 worth of attorney's fees that you would pay to go get some of these documents.
This is the resource book. For instance, this purchase and sale agreement in here, and I'll be talking about some of this today. This purchase and sale agreement, I paid upwards of $50,000 to get a lawyer to create this one purchase and sale agreement. These are massive deals, but I want to give you this so you can go to your lawyer and say, basically just emulate and copy this, okay? And a 3-day live summit. Now we only have so many of those seats, so I can't give away these forever. So it's first come, first served. Anybody that wants to take advantage of that, before we start, this offer would be like $21,000 if you bought everything individually. It's only $9.97 if we don't have to explain it. Okay? All right. Now, let's move into why real estate and why now and why it's a good deal and why you should be doing it.
Let's go.
Dude, this thing, I'm telling you guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me when I tell you this. I have been screaming from the top of my lungs now for some time about real estate. Why buy real estate, okay? Like, I don't look at Bitcoin. I own some Bitcoin. I don't really look at the stock market, even though I have a couple of stocks. I only buy stocks when I know something about the company. I know something because I'm working with the company. There are 12 major reasons that you should be buying real estate today. Number one, it has been time tested for centuries. Centuries it is time tested, okay? Against gold and silver. It has been around longer than stocks. Okay? It has been used as a place to live since the beginning of time. Man has looked for housing before he looked for gold. It is where he brought his food home to. Number two, we are in the hottest real estate market in my entire lifetime. Is this a split screen, Johnny? Can we do a split? Yeah, that's better. Okay? I don't need to go to the board for this. I'm going to go to the board for the numbers. Three, real estate is one of the investments on the planet today that democratizes the wealth game better than any other game that I know of. The reason I say that to you is because, look, with real estate, and I know some of you crypto freaks out there, and look, I'm all for it. I'm like, look, anything that works, I'm good for. I hate US dollars. Like, hate them, despise them. Let me see your fiat shit. Can I see your money? I hate it. So all of you out there think, oh, Cardone's hating on crypto. Look, I hate on this more than anybody. There's nobody that thinks this is more garbage than I think it is. US dollar, the pound, the peso, it's all shit. Okay? Real estate democratizes wealth more than any other single asset class, including the cryptos. Why is that? Okay? Because I can buy it with no money down. I can get a loan on it easier than I can my own business. You can get a loan on real estate easier than you can get college debt, a Visa card, a MasterCard, or a car loan. Okay, you understand that? Why? Because it produces income, okay? I don't have to go start another business. All of you out there doing the side hustle, if you're taking notes, you're worried about a side hustle, learning a new game, going to do this, going to do that, working this. I can buy this piece of real estate with no money down, with a new loan, with bad credit, and have instant income. I can literally buy my income. Number three, it's there forever and appreciates over time. Okay? And number four, democratizing the wealth game. You're living in it anyway. You got to have a place to live. So why not live in it? Put yourself in a position with an Airbnb or just a straight long-term rental or splitting up rooms. I know guys right now that are buying a duplex, splitting it up into 8 rooms, 8 beds, and renting by the bed. I know big projects today, like that 600 unit deal that we're doing right now. How many of those units are the single bed rentals?
200.
200 of the 639 units are being turned into bed rentals, okay? So there's a lot of different ways to play the game. It democratizes the wealth game. Number 4, it is the ultimate way to build net worth. There is no asset class on this planet that can build net worth faster than real estate. Now, if you Google my name, Grant Cardone's net worth, you're going to see a number that's so much lower than what my net worth is, okay? And the reason it is, okay?
135 sales in July.
The reason is, by the way, I want to congratulate everybody that took advantage of the helicopter trip. That took advantage of the offer. See, that's trust right there. You know. See, this is like why does this build net worth? Okay, let's say I find a building. Let's say I find a 125,000 unit building, or $250,000, whatever the number is. It doesn't matter. I can take these numbers to 25 million if you want to. The numbers are the numbers, right? So let's say I take a $125,000 asset that produces $12,000 worth of cash flow a year. Positive cash flow after the debt. I go to the bank and I say, look, I'm gonna borrow $125,000 from you. That loan's gonna cost me about, because money's so cheap today. I'm gonna show you how to build net worth. You guys are chasing your credit. You know, you're spending money. You're spending $6,000 trying to fix your credit. The way to fix your damn credit is to increase your net worth. I never worry about my credit. I don't even know what my credit score is. Nobody gives a shit about my credit score. They look at my net worth, they look at my cash accounts, and they look at passive income. So if this deal, let's say this deal produces $12,000 of positive net flow cash flow a year, okay? After the debt, the bank's like, you're earning $1,000. So let's say this deal produces, let's see, what's 125? 125 at 4% money. Oops, 125 0.04. I should know this. That's the debt. The debt's going to cost $5,000 a year. Okay, and let's say the income is $17,000 a year. It's not hard to imagine that. Okay, and I have $12,000 of positive cash flow after the expenses. So this is called the NOI. The gross income, the rent less the expenses, and I end up with 17, and I got my debt. I make 12 grand. Okay, let's say I put $3,000 down to buy this deal. That means 3,000. I can do this deal. Am I right, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6,000. Let's say I put $6,000 down to do this deal, and it makes me 12 grand the first year. I made 200% of my money, 200% of my money on my down payment, and I have an asset that is worth something. Now watch what happens, okay? Remember, I paid $125,000. Let's say over the next 2 years, the cash flow goes from $12,000 to $17,000 because the rents went up. Because that's what rents are doing. They're going up. Everybody agree? Mm-hmm. So watch. Now the bank's like, okay, wait a minute. Your NOI went up 17. Your NOI is now $22,000. The debt is still $5,000. The debt didn't change. I didn't go borrow more money to do this. What I did was increase the rents. You follow me? What am I doing? I'm increasing rent, so I increase my net worth. Now this deal is worth it's got an NOI of $17,000. And this thing that was worth $125 is now worth $283,000. I didn't pay any more money for it. Mm-hmm. I just increased my net worth by $170,000. And I didn't do any work. All I did was wait for the rents to pop, okay? This is the ultimate way to build net worth. It is the way in which, and look, I own 7 businesses. I'm working my ass off every single day. I'm working hard right now with you, trying to get you to see what I see when I come to Cleveland, when I come to Chicago, when I come to Cincinnati, when I come to Kansas, when I come to Houston or Austin or Miami, Fort Lauderdale or New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, when I go to Sydney, Australia, when I go to Dubai, when I go to Singapore, I'm like, I see the same thing everywhere I go. I'm like, God damn, there's real estate here to build network, to build passive income, and the screen went blank on me, so I don't know why. Okay, number 5. These real estate in every country on the planet provide the biggest tax benefits in the world. Okay? The biggest tax benefits in the world come from this real asset. Okay? No, it was that one right there that went blank for a second. Every once in a while it pops.
Bang.
Okay. Bang, don't worry about it. Everybody's telling me don't worry about it. You guys having fun, man? Throw it down. Can they throw something in the chat box?
Yeah, there's a lot of people chatting.
What's the average rent?
1,800.
1,800. I'm gonna do 1,850 because it can't be 1,800, right? So just do the math on that, folks. I started with one deal, one unit. One unit became next 2 units. 2 units, then there was 38 units. Then there was 68 units. Then there was 90 units. And then I was like, God dang, man, I'm becoming something. So, and the best part is, even when I wasn't on the road working, slinging, selling, pitching, okay, I'm showing up for meetings. People don't show up at the meeting. People don't pay me. I sell something and they pay me late. They bitch about it. They scream. Fucking real estate never let me down.
Uh-huh.
Through 2008, didn't let me down. When the whole world was going bankrupt, when the banks were going out of business, my real estate was sitting there just bang, bang, bang. Check this out. During COVID, not only will real estate make you money while you sleep, the right real estate will make you money through COVID-19. Okay, through the Wuhan, through the whatever that was, whatever the hell happened. 94% was our occupancy through COVID. It was just as good as before COVID. It
Across
did not
the
go
whole
down.
portfolio.
Huh?
Across the whole
Across almost 10,000 units.
It
At the
actually
time,
went
I
up.
think it was 9,000.
Yeah,
Huh?
it actually went up.
Actually, our occupancy went up. Our collections, regardless of what you heard in the news, I don't know, maybe everybody else was losing their shit, but we weren't, because we were probably what on collections?
95 to 98%.
95 to 98, depending on the location of the asset. The news were reporting, oh my God, the world's going to come to an end. Number 6, real estate works when you sleep, and real estate works best through a crisis. Number 7, this is the single best inflation hedge there is on the planet. You're going to see inflation in the news every single day. Promise you, for the rest of the year, throughout the rest of the year, if I go Google, hey Johnny, can they see my computer here?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go put inflation in the news. An inflation storm is coming to the U.S. housing market. That looks like a bad news. It ain't for me. I'm like, please come and please bless my shit. Okay? Because the inflation, when inflation hits, what happens is this gets cut in half, and then it gets cut in half again, and then it gets cut in quarters, okay? And then it's like, it's nothing.
It's garbage anyway, Jared.
That's
garbage.
Yeah, but
No
that
way.
garbage was going to pay for a bottle of wine tonight.
No, but that was we need to test out the new fireplace.
You gotta
We
put
need
that
to
back
get some
together.
tape. We need to get some tape.
Can somebody put that
We
back
need to get
together?
some tape. I know the
Who can
value.
put that back together? You know somebody? Huh? Okay. So look, this is garbage. Okay. By the way, anybody that signs up for our offer today, grantcardone.com/REI, we're gonna pick one of the people.
/invest.
I'm sorry, grantcardone.com/invest. What I'll do is I'll sign these little pieces,
Nice.
and we'll give it to you because this with my signature will be worth more than the $100. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign one of these right now. I'm going to sign each one of these, okay, Annie, and then we'll give away these to some people that take advantage of grantcardone.com/invest. Okay, because look, they're worth nothing. Okay, this is the single best hedge against inflation. If you looked at inflation.
Can you explain what that means? Because I don't think people
Okay.
understand like what the effect on money inflation is and where you want your money
so
to be.
if you go back to 1945 and you look at the value of a dollar, let's say $100 was actually worth $100 back in 1945, which it wasn't. I think that money has lost 90% of its value. That's the last thing I saw. 90% of its value is basically worth $10 today. Since 1945.
In buying power.
In buying power. So for instance, it's not that the dollar went down, right? The $100 is still $100. It just takes.
You used to be able to buy a loaf of bread for a nickel, and now the same loaf of bread's $5 or $6.
Yeah. The price of goods and services went up. Okay. So the rent, when I started renting, the rents were $275. I'll show you the perfect example of inflation. And the government's lying to you about inflation because they actually don't use housing in their inflation indicators. Inflation's slightly up. When it hits housing and it's not included, gas is not included in the inflation indicator.
Wow.
Okay? So watch what happens. There's a lot of different things. Warren Buffett said there's only a handful of people on the entire planet that understand the effects of inflation. He said it. He was not one of them.
Wow.
He only knew that if you bought something in the past, if you just wait, as long as it's still around and it's not beat by technology, okay? Because like apps are not affected by inflation because they're cheaper. They got deflated. You can download music for less today. Why? Because they want you to listen to the ad. I don't need to pay to listen to the music as long as I'm willing to pay for the ad. So that's a form of deflation. However, that phone costs more money today than it did 20 years ago. They just tell you it's better so that you want to pay more. And it takes more dollars today to buy a phone than it did back then. Okay, now watch. This rent was $275 when I was 23 years old. That same house today, if I rented that same house today, it would be $1,750. That's inflation right there. It's the same damn house, the same neighborhood. It's the same house. It's been there, by the way, the entire time. I know who owns the house. Okay? The house I bought, the first house that I bought in Bel Air, Texas, when I was renting that house, the rent at that house was $600. That's what I rented it for. No, $475. It was $475 is what I rented it for. I think my payments were like $250. That rent today is about $1,800 to $2,100, depending on who they get. And it might be more than that. They might be able to get $1,000 a week. Elena's in Tampa and Clearwater. She just rented an old house in Tampa for $2,700 a week in Clearwater, Florida.
Wow.
Wow.
That did not exist. That did not exist. You could have bought that house. I'll bet you could have bought that house in 1980 for $10,000
Wow.
for nothing. Okay, you guys all know that story. Okay, that in real assets, a real asset, wood, glass, concrete,
Right.
cement, even if it's got a cracked foundations go up in value, even though you're going to have to replace them. Okay, number 8, refinance capabilities. And I'm going to be talking about financing a lot today. Please take the time. Please kill your Netflix, kill your Instagram right now. If you guys are on Clubhouse right now, pay attention to this, okay? Because some of this gets a little complicated, not because it's complicated, but actually because it's so simple.
Yeah.
You can't wrap your head around it. You're like, this is impossible.
This is
It's
good.
so simple.
This is good.
It's so simple that you're like, this can't be true. I'm going to show you this right here, okay? So I buy a deal. Jared actually was on this deal with me, okay? I'll be going over this deal later today. Make sure I do this again, okay? I buy a deal with $400,000. Okay, now 400 grand seems like a lot of money, but it was a $5 million deal. The deal was $5 million. I put 400 grand down, okay? Now, I had to get the 400 grand, so I didn't have the whole 400. So I went to some friends of mine. Hey, man, you want a little of this? Boom, boom, boom. So we put together the deal. That deal, Jared, how long were we in that deal before I went and refinanced it?
6 months.
Okay. I went in the deal. We repainted it because it was an ugly color. First thing you do is some landscaping and some paint. We spent almost no money. The 400 grand, by the way, was just to repair the property. We didn't even spend the entire 400. We increased the rents $200 on this particular unit. I'm going to show you today. There's a number 32 and 200. If you can put 32 and 200 together, you'll make $1 million. Okay. This was 104 units. We increased the rents $200, refinanced the property. It's worth $14 million today. I got my 400 grand back that we spent on the rehab, plus we took out
7 million, 8 million.
$7 million in cash. I got a check for that. That's a non-taxable event. This is called a refinance exit. No exit. It's what I call the exit, no exit. The E-N-E, baby. And the E-N-E, if you do it enough times, will make you a 1E9.
And you don't
Okay.
and you don't pay tax on it because you put new debt on the deal.
Yeah.
It's not like you're cashing out the deal.
Yeah,
You're
this is
putting
why
another
Dave
loan on.
Ramsey hates me so much, is because Dave Ramsey only understands consumer debt. And I'm not talking about consumer debt. I'm talking about investors' debt. The same investors' debt that Google, that Apple, that Netflix, that Caterpillar, that Coca-Cola, they all use it. If you want to create wealth for your family and financial freedom, you have to learn how to use refinance, exit, no exit capabilities. Number 9, real estate. Why real estate? Why now? It is the single best way to rebuild your credit. If you have bad credit, the way to rebuild your credit is through real assets, okay? Not by borrowing money for more consumer bullshit. That does not rebuild credit. That just gets you strapped more, okay? You want to buy something, a real asset that actually provides you with income. Number 10, dude, this is the easiest game in the world to start with no money down. It is the easiest game in the world to start with no money down. Many of you say, that's impossible. You don't even have to be a vet to do this. If you're a vet, it is a no-brainer, okay? But if you're a person with a job, you probably need a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how to pick the right piece of real estate and then know the right bank to go to. It might not be your local bank. I've gotten no money down loans since 2008. I mean, a lot of people think these loans are gone. They're not gone. I'm telling you, they're here right now. Okay.
Do you want to just say one thing about this that you say is like the way a bank looks at a real estate deal and how they lend on it versus a car or something like that. Like,
yeah, so
like they won't lend you money to buy their stock, right?
Yeah. So look, if I go to Bank of America, okay, I go to B of A or Wells Fargo, and I say they both have stocks. I don't know what B of A stock is right now. Maybe look it up. They got stocks. They got a financial statement. I mean, this and what Jared's bringing your attention to.
$41 a share.
It's $41 a share. Okay, companies worth billions and billions of dollars. They got
$358 billion.
They're worth $358 billion. Just keep that in mind. I go to Bank of America and say, I want to borrow money from the Bank of America to buy stock in Bank of America. You know what the answer will be? No, we don't do that. I go to Bank of America and say, hey, by the way, you have a 2120th 91st Street. You have a Bank of America building. 1 block away, there's a duplex. And this duplex is worth $375,000. It's got 2 units. I'd like to get a loan on it. I'm going to live in half and rent the other half. They'd be like, yeah, man, you need to put $15,000 down. We'd love to give you a loan. You put 17 grand down on this deal. We'll give you a loan right now. Why would the Bank of America give me a loan to buy a place 1 block away from their location, and they won't give me a loan to buy their own stock? If that doesn't explain everything to you guys, okay, that's as simple as it gets. Can you get a loan on Bitcoin? No, not to buy Bitcoin you can't. Can you get a loan to buy that stock? No, you cannot, but you can get a loan to buy a real asset. It is the easiest class, because of this, it is the easiest single class of assets for you to build a portfolio and attract investors. In the last, 2.5 years?
Yep.
We've raised $580 million from investors. So if you guys want to grow and scale your business, I can show you how to do that today as well. And number 12 is the power of leverage. Okay, leverage is this, and I'll be getting into it in our first deal. But if I can take $17,000, by the way, that's not a lot of money. I think everybody would agree. Oh, no, I have 17 grand. Well, good. If you're committed and the deal's right, go find it from your brother, your uncle, your mom, your dad. Somebody will lend you 17 grand. It's not a huge number. I can show you how to get this 17 grand. I can show you a list of people that would lend you the 17 grand to buy the piece of real estate. That's the business they're in. They'll probably charge you 10% for the down payment. Okay? Now you got a $375,000 asset right over here. You use somebody else's money to buy this. You owe them 10%. You owe this deal 3 to 4%, maybe 5%, and you own a piece of real estate. Your job now is to improve the value of the real estate. Basically, this is called leverage. Okay? Now, you can over leverage. That might not be over leverage. It depends on the deal. The amount of leverage, how much over leverage depends on the type of real estate, where it is, what it is, how much income it produces, and what you can do to improve that. And that's where the know-how comes in, okay? So, number 1, you don't need money, you don't need credit, you do need to know what you're looking for.
Harbor
okay?
Palms Realty asks, do you need a real estate license?
I don't have a real estate license. I don't know why you'd go get one of those, okay? Okay, now, Monopoly. This is Monopoly, folks. If you've ever played Monopoly, one of the best-selling games in the world, why do you think that is? Because real estate is real to everyone. Everyone has to live in it. The affinity and the reality of real estate as a Monopoly game. Cash flow, you want to write this down. Cash flow. The same thing in the game of real estate. Cash flow. Who wins the game? The cash flow plus time. This is the formula we use. Time, by the way, is the most valuable thing in the real estate game. Times leverage. Okay? Really, number of units here. Okay? Equals appreciation.
Man, there's some great questions in here.
Okay? The appreciation is the increased value of the property. Then we're going to refinance because we have an increased value based on new income, not some fantasy. Well, what's Apple stock today? $216? What is it? I don't know. $116 or something?
127.
I don't know what it's worth. Okay? It's based on what?
$2 trillion market cap.
It's a $2 trillion market cap. Every person that works at Apple, I'll guarantee you, live in a house or an apartment. All right? Okay, let me show you my first deal, and I'm going to show you how you're going to get in the game. Don't let any of this overwhelm you. Save your questions. For those of you who are going to take advantage of our offer, I want to tell you that on Monday, I'm going to invite, we're going to create some situation where on Monday you can bring me your deals every Monday at 12 p.m. So for those of you who want to sign up and take advantage of that, I'll support you each Monday for the next 5 or 6 weeks. Find your first deal. Let me tell you about my first deal. Okay, my first deal was bought. I forget what year this was, but it had to be
1986.
1986. 1986. The deal was $78,000. I lived in Houston, Texas, and I was starting my business. I was starting my first company. Nobody knew Grant Cardone. I just moved from Lake Charles, Louisiana. My seminar business was not going. There was nothing really happening. I had to go to the bank and get a loan. I did not have $78,000. I found this little house. It's on 1117 Sheffield. Let me see if I got it here. So you guys can see this is real. I'm going to Google this. 1117 Sheffield. Johnny, can you see this? See, there's the house. That's the Google as of today. 1117 Sheffield. Now it's got a red door. It's the same cedar shake on the outside. Same oak tree that was there. Okay, I bought that house. So again, real estate is real. Everything I tell you today, somebody's telling you about real estate, they're telling you about a deal. Show me the deal, show me the address, because there's a record. Every real estate deal has a record. There's a lot of bullshit going on the internet. And I just want to make sure you guys understand, when I tell you be transparent and authentic and honest, you have the right to ask me, show me the deal. I show you the deal every time, okay? If somebody won't show you the deal, why not? There's got to be something wrong, okay? Now I went to the bank. I didn't know what I was doing. 28 years old. What was I doing 28 years old? Was I still selling cars? No, I was in Houston, so I wasn't selling cars.
You just went out. Yeah.
I just started my own business, okay? No, I was working for a guy named Tom Stuker. I hadn't started my own company yet, and I was traveling all the time. So I bought my first deal. I had a little job. I think my job was, I was making like $6,000 a month, 72 grand a year. And I went to a banker. It was a new job. I was only there a year and a half at this job. And I went to the banker, and I said, hey, I want to buy this house, 1117 Sheffield. Guess what he did? He pulled up 1117 Sheffield in his record and said, we'll have to go appraise the house. Why do they want to appraise the house? Because it's a real house. You wanted appraised, okay? So $78,000. They said, Grant, we would need $3,500 down. I think it was a 3% loan. We need $3,500 down.
First time home buyer or something?
Yeah, we're going to finance $75,000. You can do this 10 times in most markets, right? For an all market.
For the first one, you could do 3 to 5%, and then they want 20% down.
Okay, then they might increase it. Okay, so the payment on this deal was $375 a month. This was the payment. I rented the place for $575 a month. I was making $200 a month, 12 months, $2,400 a year. Look at the return right there. $2,400 divided by 3,600 or 35. That's a 67% return on my investment in the first year. Freaking crazy, right? Crazy. Now, this is what happened, okay? I sold this place because I got scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do any homework. I just, like most things that I do in my life, I just kind of go half-cocked. I did it with some palm trees recently. So, but you know, whatever, right?
Turned out good.
Turned out good, but yeah, there you go. So, yeah, thanks, Johnny. So now let me tell you what I did wrong in this deal, because I made some big mistakes in this deal. Number one mistake I made was I did not go do this 10 times. I got scared because the tenant moved out. And when the tenant moved out, I didn't have a long-term vision. I didn't have my blueprint. I'm going to give you guys the blueprint so that you don't get freaked out, because I shouldn't have sold this deal. 2 mistakes I made. I should have done this 10 times, not 1 time. And I should have done this, I shouldn't have sold the property, bottom line, okay? So watch. This rent today is $1,750. I think that's what it is. Let me just see. Let me go to Zillow. It's one of the resources you can use. 1117 Sheffield. Let's see if this is being rented today.
Rent's estimate is $31.54 a month.
Wow. The rent on this property, but I have $1,750 there. I'm a little wrong.
Wow.
The rent today on this property is $3,150.
Compared to what was it before? 575.
$575, and I was freaked out. Okay, you guys understand? 1986,
Right.
Savings and loans crisis.
25 years.
Right.
Is it 25 years now? No, it's
More.
1986 is
30,
So
30,
20,
30, 35 years.
30,
2021.
35 years,
35
That's
years.
1986.
35.
35 years, okay? Let's say the last 10 years, just the last 10 years, let's say it was $3,100 a month. 120 times, understand, we're talking about 36 years. I'm just going to use the last 10 years. 120 months times 3,150, if it had been full the whole time, would have produced $378,000 of rent. The property was $78,000 when I bought it. In 10 years, I would have made $300,000. Now, if you want to understand the crazy part of this, okay, my numbers are wrong, way wrong on what I did here, because what I wanted to show you was the neighbor. If I Google this and I go, see this neighbor right here? I'm gonna back out of this picture. This is a live picture. That neighbor right there, that house right there is almost $2 million next door to it.
Wow.
Okay, the house next door to it was exactly the same as the house I have. They scraped the house. These are real-time pictures. They scraped the house and built a $2 million house right there. So somebody bought the house for $400, scraped it. Okay, so today, let me just show you what that would have been today. The neighbor's comp is $1.15 million. The last time I did this, I think that's a $2 million house today. The rent collected versus the price paid, 30 years. For you conservative skeptics out there, let's say the rent averaged $1,000 a month. How much of the rent's right now?
It's 3,000, so it's
3,100. If I take a third of that and say the rents for the last 30 years were only averaged $1,000 a month, which they haven't, that's $420,000 worth of gross income. Gross income, okay? The rent collected over the last 35 years, 30 years times, oh no, this is the net number. We're doing a net cash flow here, okay? Free cash flow. You would have made $420,000 out of $735,000, and I was only figuring rent at $1,750. Okay, so you understand what I did right there? I'm just showing you, had I known and had a blueprint, said, okay, rents are going to keep going up. Rents are going to go $575, $800. You guys have seen this happen in your marketplace. $1,100, $1,200. Stop. They're going to go flat. Then they're going to go $1,500, and then one day they're going to be $3,150. If I take this same house, drop this same house in Silicon Valley, across from Facebook, the rents on that same house will be $9,000 a month or more. And that's happening across America. You saw that news flash that I showed you earlier? Look at this. An inflation storm is coming for the U.S. housing market. You guys think that rents are expensive here, but you need to go to Singapore, Dubai, and Sydney. You need to go to Hong Kong and see what rents are. You can be like, dang, rents are cheap here, man. Go to New York City, okay? The Fed could be facing a jobs headache in the inflation light. This is all this week. Where inflation is taking a breather, your doctor's office. Okay, good. Yeah. You know why? Because you probably ain't going to the doctor's office. Because he's going to want to put something in your nose. When Americans took to the streets over inflation, the Deutsche Bank issues dire economic warning for America. These are all this week. Inflation surging. What is inflation? Inflation on the rise in Metro Denver. Inflation, oil hit 2018 high, third week of gains. Wall Street, week ahead. Fed meeting loom for stocks as inflation winter worries collide with Goldilocks market. Like it's all over the place. So what does inflation hit first? Typically it hits housing. You're either going to be affected by it because of where you live, or you're going to be affected because of it because you own it and want to affect the rents of it, okay? Now, what you need to look at here, and Jared asked me to explain this, the inflation is not on the value of the house in rentals. It is on the value of the rent. The rent is what determines the value. Okay, so you're not looking at, I don't really care about the appraisal on the house. I care about the rent on the house. because the rent, if I can drive the rent, it pulls the value of it for when we want to go refinance, okay? So if I would have known 10x back then, and by the way, this is the research is easy today. You can go research this property, 1117 Sheffield. Here's the research. Bel Air, Texas.
There's a video on the right. That's a
Oh,
little
is
video
there?
that shows the live. Yeah,
Show the video.
when you click it again.
Oh, I got to click it?
Yeah.
I made this.
There you go, right there.
Oh.
It's live.
So this is a lot. This is
This
showing.
is the listing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was built in 19 what? 19. What does it say? 1905? No, it couldn't have been. 1955. It's been there the whole time. Look, it's showing you all the tax assessments over all the years. What it's worth. I think the last time it was worth 452. I paid 78 grand, folks. You're like, oh, 78 grand to 450,000. That's a 5x return. No, it's not a 5x return. I put $3,500 down. $3,500 divided by $458,000. $458,000 divided by $3,500
100.
is 130x. 130 times.
You got the book running, man.
That doesn't count the cash flow.
That was good.
That doesn't count the cash flow. Okay? You got to remember the cash flow, the $3,000 a month in the last 12 months alone, times 12 months. The cash flow would be a 12x return on my initial investment in the last 12 months. In the last 10 years, it would be
120.
It would be a 100x return, just the cash flow. So the appreciated value is 135 times. The cash flow is another 100. You're talking about a 250x return on one investment. Had I done this 10 times, because the mistake I made was I didn't scale this portfolio. I should have done that one. I should have done the neighbor. I should have done the neighbor. I should have owned the damn whole community, and I could have, because nobody was paying attention, and nobody's paying attention today. Okay, so let me show you the numbers on this. Had I stuck with this one simple deal, who's got $3,500?
I do.
Come on. Everybody's got $3,500. If you don't have it, man, you got go to mama. She's got it. Steal from her. Shit, it wouldn't be the first time you stole from her. Had I done 10 of these, it would have cost me $35,000. Had I had a bigger plan, based on the price then, the 10 properties would have cost me $750,000. I would have immediately, over the next 2 or 3 years, if that's what it took, had a net worth of $750,000. I'd almost be a millionaire for $35,000. But where would it have gone? Today, that would be worth $4.2 million. Now I am a millionaire. Okay? The cash flow would be $12,000 a month. I could use that. $12,000 every month. What did I put down? $35,000. In 3 months, I get my cash flow. Every 3 months, I get my initial investment back. My annual cash flow would be $144,000 a year. I didn't take a second job, by the way. I could hire a management company to collect the rents. My 30 years of cash flow would have been $3.7 million. You guys understand? I have a property that's worth $4.2 million. These are based on $1,700 rents, not $3,000 rents. My cash flow is different than the asset value. This is the asset value of the 10 properties, $4.2 million. This was the cash flow over the last 30 years, okay? It's freaking stupid. This is $7 million, $7.9 million asset value. The banks started appreciating you more. It's not a one-off deal. For those of you who think, oh my God, it's just one deal, you can't find another deal like that. The second deal that I did, I'll show you in 1 second. The second deal I did with no money down, and it was $125,000, okay? Now, the exit, no exit that I talked about earlier, the real way to create wealth, and I'll be sharing all this with you, showing you exactly how to do this. In fact, this is in my home study manual, is the refinance exit, no exit, okay? And today, if I went back to the bank today and put those 10 deals together, they like 10 deals.
Mm-hmm.
More than one deal. They actually think you're somebody when you got 10 deals. $4.2 million. That's if each house is worth $420,000. I don't know, what did Zillow say the value of this house was? Did they say?
Of the Sheffield?
Yeah, no, they say it's worth $461,000 and it's an off-market deal. We bought 2 off-market deals last month, okay? They say it's worth $460,000. So my portfolio would be worth $4.6 million. I would go to the bank and say, I want a loan, I want to borrow against this portfolio 75% of the value of the portfolio.
3.5.
Let me just use the 4. I'll use this 4.6 times 75. They would give me $3,450,000. They'd write me a check for that.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
You understand? Here, Mr. Cardone, they'd probably write me 10 checks, okay, because there's 10 deals. The property would still cash flow at $31,000 a year. The 10 properties, $3,000 a month, bang, bang, bang. But I take this right here, this $3 million, and my tax on that $3.4 million is 0. Okay, 0. If I take these numbers down, that's a message I got for the IRS. Okay, right there. Okay, you understand? $3.4 million the bank would give me. I would still owe $1.2 million. No, I would have cashed out the 1.2. Okay, you understand? The value of this is 4.6. They would have given me a loan for 3.4. They give me the $3.4 million. I still have $1.2 million of equity trapped in the deal. Okay, this is the debt. They give me that. I owe them that. And because I owe them that, there is no tax event. And this is how wealth is created. This is what the people in New York do every day. This is why Apple Computer, who owes $212 billion in cash, that's what they have in cash. That's why they borrow money from Japan or the bond market. They borrow money, they don't use their own cash, and they go buy their own stock back. Okay? It's a tricky, Ricky game. It's so simple. It's complicated. Okay, so you and your family would get a check for $3.4 million if you'd have done this 10 times. Your family would get a $3.4 million check. You would not have a tax bill, and you would still have $31,000 to $50,000 a year in annual income. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you one more deal here. Jerry, you want to talk about, for those who want to get involved in learning this material?
Yeah, so look, we've put together a program that includes our most comprehensive real estate course. It's called the Introduction to Investing in Real Estate. It's a 20-hour video program where Grant covers in depth all of the things that you're hearing. In addition to...
I went to, this was actually shot in Turks and Caicos. It's a beautiful setting, great video, great edited material. Almost, what's got to be 10 plus hours?
Almost 20.
Johnny, what is it?
It's 16 hours.
16 hours of me walking A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I actually go over, there's a thing A to Z. You take the A to Z, my A to Z, what you're looking for in a deal, you gotta get the I. You gotta know, like I got the I, okay? I know, boom, that's the deal. That's the deal right there. I know that deal will work. I can increase the values. I know that neighborhood. Like you gotta have the A through Z checklist. Also, I'm gonna give you our real estate resource book, okay? The resource book has every commercial broker in the country, underwriting models, letter of intent templates so you know how to make the offer, the due diligence checklist, tenant notification templates, everything that I've learned in the last 35 years, literally I put it in your hand with our ultimate resource book, the monthly reporting checklist, property budgets. I thought we were going to say that.
Oh, we're going to do it now. You already talked
you're going to do it? No, don't do it. We don't need to do that. Property budgets, agreement, purchase and sale agreement, and check it out if that's not enough. No, man, you can't.
You
save that, man. Don't do that,
I
man.
mean, just the LOI alone is worth its weight in gold.
The PSA and the LOI. The LOI is a letter of intent. How do you write a letter of intent? Okay, how do you write it? And then all this is in video, by the way, plus the resource book. We give you a physical copy if you're willing to pay for the shipping.
Yep.
Otherwise, we give you a PDF. And if that's not enough, a three-day real estate summit. The first 250 people that take advantage of this, you can come live and sit in the audience here in Miami. We're limited on seating. That seat's going to be sold for $5,000. We're going to do this whole package for the course, the 16-hour course, the resource book,
$10,000 on the website,
and home study manual. You can find these on my website right now. $2,500 for this book. You're not paying for it. $9,000 for the course. You're not paying for it.
$5,000 ticket,
3 days for the summit. That's a $5,000 ticket. The entire thing we're going to do for
$1,000.
$997.
Wow.
Okay, $997. So take advantage of that. The website's grantcardone.com/invest, or there's a little button right
And
there.
also, I've had a few.
Let me just say one thing real
Okay.
quick about that. Guys, if $997 is too much money for you, just understand, titles, that's going to cost you something. Title search is going to cost you something. The accountant's going to cost you something. The management company is going to cost you something. Setting up an escrow account is going to cost you something. Like, things cost money, right? If you're going to do real estate, please don't let $1,000 get in your way. Because you're going to spend, hopefully, you're going to spend tens of millions. Last year, just so you put it all in perspective, last year on $2.2 billion worth of real estate, we probably paid $44 million just in property taxes. So don't let $1,000 get in your way of $1 billion. You know what I'm saying?
Some people are asking about payment plans.
Okay.
They want to do it, but they just were asking about it. So we will give you on the page, grantcardone.com/invest. There's a 2-pay option. So if you can only come up with some of the money now, there's a payment option that we'll take care for you there.
Yeah. I think the most important thing, though, guys, if you're going to get on the payment plan, you need to get your payments done before the event. The summit's July. It's a 3-day summit. I'm there the entire time. I'm going to bring some of my friends in to talk about debt. I'm going to talk about refinance options. I'm going to talk about real estate in markets across the country. It's going to be a phenomenal summit held right here at the
JW Marriott.
JW Marriott Turnberry. It's a fantastic hotel. You'll get a chance to see our operations. You get to meet me. It's going to be a really super cool deal. We're going to make sure that the first 250 people that take advantage of this get a signed copy of my cash flow hat, which we can't even keep in stock. So if I run out of these, it's first come, first serve. I'll make sure to sign a bunch of these before the day's over. What else, Jared? Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay, it's tax deductible. If you're not happy with it, call us up, no problem, whatever. Like everything we do here has got a money back guarantee. Okay, let me show you the second deal that I did. What's the website there?
grantcardone.com/invest.
Okay, or it's below.
Just click the link, yeah.
Okay, good. So I promised I wouldn't try to sell you something. And so I'm not. Okay, now let me show you my second deal. My second deal.
Hey, Grant.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you said this at the beginning.
I don't think people can hear you.
Yeah, no, one
Are
deal.
you on a
One deal. One deal. can
One
change your
deal.
life.
One deal.
Dude, one deal can change your life, folks. That one deal got me started. That one deal got me started. That one deal got me like, okay, whoa, I got something here. Stupid thing is, I sold the deal. I shouldn't have sold the deal. I should have moved on to the next deal. Okay? I didn't have a plan. I was just kind of like ad hoc, so I'd get scared, right? The second deal that I bought, because I had a little bit of information now with the banks. I had a little confidence.
And just so people are clear, like these first deals that you're seeing here, there's nothing special about these deals. Like these are not deals that Grant selected because he had some eye for real estate, and these were deals that he just were in his
all I
neighborhood.
did was on the weekends I would literally, like, if I wasn't working, I would drive around in my car and I'd find neighborhoods when I drive down the street. I'm like, oh my God, this street is awesome. If the street didn't feel awesome, I'd be like if you drive down this street right here, Brayburn in Bel Air, you're going to see these big monster oak trees. Now, because I've been doing this so long, I've been collecting information. And, what I know today is, man, when there's big wood, there's big wood. If there's big trees, there's big wood to be made. Wherever there's big trees, you're going to make big money. I don't know why it is, but there's something about them damn big. Like, you drive down this street, what you're going to see is these massive oak trees that basically
Cover the street.
create an umbrella for the entire street, all the way down it.
It's gorgeous.
Well, when I was there, I lived in Bel Air. I lived, up the street. I had a little office, and I'm like, I'm gonna go buy this house. $92,500. I later sell the house for $125,000.
3 years later.
3 years later, I made $30,000 on that house, and I put no money down. What's the return? I don't know, infinite. It's an infinite return. It's unmeasurable. I didn't have any money in the deal. Okay, that deal is sold twice in 22 years. This deal never trades. Today, that house, let me just go to Zillow. What's it worth? Let me find out what they say it's worth. They're always wrong, by the way. They're way behind the curve. Okay, here it is right here. The Zillow estimate on that house today. There it is. There it is. Let me see. Zillow 5422. Just do it in real time for you. 5422 Braeburn, Texas. Okay, you see that house right there? Now I'm going to go look at this one. Zillow. Let's see what they say it's worth. They say it's worth $1.5 million. And notice the difference in the pictures. Johnny, I don't know if you can go back and forth on these. Oh, you know why? Because the house ain't there no more. Somebody bought it from me from $125, scraped it to the ground, and built a $1.5 million house there. It's probably not 1.5 because if you know anything about Zillow, they're typically about 50% behind whatever something's worth. I'll show you the house I just bought. What's the address on my house?
605.
Ocean. Let's see what Zillow says about my house.
Jared's a good day, isn't he, Grant?
Huh?
Jared's on fire today.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
You said, what's the address? He has 605.
Man, he's on his game, huh?
He's ready to go.
Okay, it says this house is worth $20 million. Well, I know for sure it's worth more than that.
Just 10 behind.
They're only 10 million. 10 million below what that house is actually worth today. Okay, I know what that house would sell for right now. I paid 24 for it. I paid 24, 23.
24.
Yeah, 24 million. So I know it's worth 24 because there's at least one idiot that paid 24. Guarantee you, as I sit here, before the end of the year, this house will sell for $32 million, maybe 34. Okay, so I know Zillow's wrong. The estimated rent on that house, they say is 70 grand a month. That's wrong too. My condo is going to rent for 50 grand a month. The rent on that house will probably be 70,000 a week. So, and I'm just completely bragging right now. All right, but I'm also using real life situations to show you Zillow is wrong and way behind the curve on most of these estimates. Okay, back to our deal. Back to the deal I bought. Okay, $33,000. I made $33,000 on this deal in 3 years. Today's value is not $1.1 million. Today's value is probably more like $2.1 million. And that house would probably rent for $40,000 to $50,000 a month. It would make the owner $600 grand a year doing an Airbnb. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I'm going to Houston and I want to spend 3 months in Houston, maybe we go there all the time. I'm like, hey, let's just get a house rather than staying at the Post Oak. What do we pay at the Post Oak a night? $1,000?
Yeah, 5 to 1,000.
You know, I'm not the only deal to one of the many deals that I ended up buying. Okay, but I didn't know any better. Okay, that deal today could be refinanced. Remember the refinance? The exit, no exit? The EXE equals 1E9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't know what that means, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, EMD, by the way. If you get enough 1E9. Okay, so check it out. The $1.4 million house, that house is probably worth $2.1 million today. If it rented for even $25,000 a month, I think that house would rent for 25 grand a month.
Which house?
The Braeburn house. No, 5,000,
Maybe 10,000.
10,000 a month, $120,000 a year of income. Let's see, $120,000 of income. You're not gonna keep the whole 120. You're gonna pay out 1 month, so you're gonna have $108,000 of income a year. You're not gonna have the renter's gonna pay all the expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 0.06. You're going to get a $1.8 million loan on this house. I just know the math. I share the math with in the course, by the way. The course is how much debt can I get on this deal. I'll get a loan for $1.8 million, get the entire check for $1.8 million. My tax bill will be 0, and it will still make me
10,000 a month.
1.8. Yeah, but now I got debt. Uh-oh, battery's going out on this. Times 0.0, 1.8, 1.8. It's nothing. Times point. It's making $72,000 is going to be my debt. I'm going to make $48,000 a year, $4,000 a month after I take out a check for $1.8 million. So how would you like to have one property, find one property in your neighborhood, buy it with almost no money, do what you need to do to get it improved in value and rent that property, and then cash out of it in a year or two, pull $1.8 million out, put it in your pocket for your family. I could have done this if I had a plan, and then get paid $4,000 a month. And maybe you can't do it in 1 or 2 years. Maybe this actually takes you 3 to 5 years. Oh, woe is me. Okay.
Maybe it takes you 10 years.
Maybe it takes me 10 years.
But you get paid 10 grand a month.
Okay, but
Wow,
and you're
you're waiting
25
for
years
it to
old right now, and maybe it takes when you're 35 years old, you get to go refinance this deal. Okay, you need a plan, you need the information, and you need the confidence. The thing that keeps people from buying real estate is they don't have confidence. Let me tell you about my third deal. My third deal was my first apartment deal. And this is where it really gets exciting, okay? Now, I'm showing you these deals not to brag with you, but to show you this is available to you right now, okay? My next deal, because now I'm getting a little bit of confidence, I'm starting to get a little swag. I bought one unit, I bought a single plex, what do they call those?
Duplex?
No, it was a single
Single
unit.
family house?
It was SFR is what they call that. I bought one, and then I bought a second one, okay? Had a little experience with that. I'm like, hey man, why don't we put this game on steroids? Okay, I'm gonna buy 48 units at one time. So I was in San Diego, California. I'd moved from Houston, sold the 2 houses, actually kept the Brayburn house, the second house. Moved to San Diego, had a renter in it. I was in San Diego, I just got rent checks every month. I didn't worry about the house. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead, the next time I buy something, I'm not gonna buy one unit, I'm gonna buy multiple units. And I started looking at 4s, 8s, 16s, 32s. I started studying the most successful real estate people in the world. And I noticed they weren't buying single family homes. They were buying communities. Donald Trump's father, Donald Bren in Orange County, California. He's the richest real estate investor in the United States of America, owns more real estate in America than Bill Gates does, okay? He owns Orange County. He was building multifamily, lots of units that people could live in. So I'm like, I'm gonna follow Donald Bren rather than just making shit up. I spent 3 years every weekend walking property. I have no idea what that's worth. I know it's made me hundreds of millions of dollars doing that homework. I don't advise you do that homework that slowly. Get something that you can read and know what the hell you're looking for, because I didn't know what I was even looking for. Know the questions you're going to ask the brokers. I sounded like an idiot with everybody, okay? So after walking properties for 3 years, between the houses in Houston and the next purchase, it was 3 years before I would buy anything. Don't recommend that. I'd like to help you buy something this week. In fact, Monday I'm going to have a call with some of you to show you deals and to give you the support, maybe even the money and the financing to get the deal done. This third deal, my first apartment deal, was $1.9 million. I put $350,000. I think it was 1.950. I put $350,000 down. Oh my God, where am I going to get $350,000? I borrowed most of mine from friends and family. I would later sell that deal for $5,950,000, a profit of $4 million.
How long did you own it before you sold it?
30, what was it? 30, how long did I own that deal? Maybe almost 4 years, about 46 months. Okay? I made $168,000 of free cash flow while I was there, plus $4 million in profit.
So you're getting paid to wait.
I was paid 168 divided by 46 months. I was paid $3,652 a month. Okay? 1% of my down payment. I was paid every month. I was making 12% a year. 1% a month. Your bank does not pay you 1% a year. Your bank pays you 0.5%, maybe 1/4% per year. I was making 1% on my money every month to wait to make $4 million. Now, folks, this is not, again, like for those of you out there that are negative, not negative, but you're skeptical. You've been ripped off. You don't trust people.
There was
For
a
whatever
lady in
reason.
here that she's in real estate. She's 60 years old. She says she's a badass, but she knows she needs to invest. She's just terrified to start.
Terror, man. Terror is going to cost you millions. The reason you have terror is because you don't have information. Okay? The way to reduce the risk, Warren Buffett says the way to reduce the risk is increase the knowledge. If you know what you're doing, there's no risk. That's why when he buys a company, he takes a big position, not a little position. He doesn't dabble into the investment. I don't dabble into real estate anymore. Like I buy these massive deals because I don't have terror. I know, and this is what Jared said, I'm being paid to wait. I'm being paid 1% a month. 1% a month. 12% a year. I'll show you deals today that'll make you 12% this year. 12% a year to wait for $4 million, and that happened in 47 months. Jared said 10 years. That deal happened in 47 months. Okay? So my first deal, that first deal that I bought, I sold that in 5 months. $3,000 is what I put down. $7,000 is what I came out with. I made 100% on my money. It wasn't a lot of money, but I got my first deal under my belt. Shouldn't have sold it, but I did make money. Okay? All right. Watch this deal. Cedar Woods Apartments. Let me just show it to you, just so I can validate that it's a real deal. It really happened. It's not a fantasy. Cedar Wood Apartments. Put it into my website right here. There it is. There it is. Cedar Wood. Same color as when I bought it. When I drove up on it, okay, here's one thing you want to write down as you're taking notes. Dude, it should hit you like in the heart when you drive up on it. I got to buy this. Like, you should want to buy it before you even have the numbers on it. It should just hit you like, I know there's a deal. If you don't get that feeling, you either don't have enough information yet, you don't have enough certainty, you don't have enough confidence, you don't have the eye yet. You should be able to know right away, I'm buying this deal. Every deal we buy today, still today. 3 deals we closed on last week, I knew the second I saw them, the first second I saw them, I'm buying that deal.
That's what you told me too.
What, on UBS? On
And
Camino
also in Houston too. You're like, I'm buying those.
We're buying that
deals.
deal. We're gonna close. We're gonna buy a deal. I'll be awarded a deal next week. I knew 2 or 3 years ago. First time I saw them, I'm buying these deals. So when do I buy them? Well, when they sell them. Okay, I've been trying to buy that deal for 3 years. I bought the office building next to me. I knew the first time I saw it, I'm buying that deal. We're gonna own that deal. The condo that I'm in today, we knew it when we walked in it. We're gonna buy the deal. The house I bought in Los Angeles, I'll show you in a second. First time I saw it, I'm gonna buy this deal. Wow. You should not have to keep looking at the property. If you got to keep looking at it, dude, there's something wrong with either the property or what your knowingness is. And if it's terror, the way to get rid of the terror is to get somebody on your team that can tell you no to that deal. Okay? Would you wait for $4 million to be paid 12% a year?
Yes.
What if you didn't get the $4 million? You'll get the $4 million if what? If you know the rents will go up. If rents go up, so does appreciation. Okay? It's this. Rent plus times units equals certainty. This is your formula right here. The rent. How much is the rent? Can it go up? Plus time. I need time. And times the units. The most important number in all of real estate is the number of times you can do something. Because watch this deal right here. One deal. Remember, I did 2 deals, made a little bit of money. One deal. Okay, the income from this deal while I owned it was $878,000. The expenses were $300,000. Who paid for the expenses? The income on the property. Okay, it was 48 units. Let me just also say to you, this loan was easier to get than the first 2 loans. When I did this loan on Cedarwood, I think it's still the same name, same color paint, same location. Shit's crazy. The only thing different about this property is the people that rent there. And even they seem to be similar to the people they were 30 years ago. Okay? Property's still there. It's been through the savings and loan debacle. It's been through
Dot-com
2000 dot-com bust. It's been through the housing crisis 2008. This property got me through the housing crisis when my other businesses were folding. This continued rent. Went through COVID just fine. The expenses were $300,000. The debt on this deal was $100,000 a year. Who paid the debt?
The tenants.
The property. I'm not paying it. Okay. Tax deductible. Love that. The cash flow in this deal, if you do the math, was $478,000 a year. I put $350,000 down. You're like, I can't get $350,000. If you knew you could make the $350,000 back every year, would you figure out how to get it? Paid me $39,000 a month. Today's value on this property, $14 million, maybe more than that. I wonder what this thing says it's worth. Well, they won't say what an apartment's worth, will they? The monthly rents on this apartment are $1,600 a month. That doesn't seem right. See, I could go back and buy this deal again today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm looking at this deal right now saying, I know this property.
Why?
I know
Because you know rents will rise.
Fuck, I know the rents on this deal ought to be $3,000 a month.
Right.
So this is some guy that bought this deal a long time ago that doesn't need to change the rents.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that lives in San Diego, I won't go back to the communist land, but any of you out there that want to go, like, I would go look at this deal right now, because if you could raise these rents, I'll show you this deal right now. If this deal's worth $14 million today, if the rents are $1,600,
Sure, let's go ahead and call the owner. Let's go ahead and call the owner now.
yeah. If the rents are $1,600, you could take them to $2,000. Watch what happens. That's $400, 48 times. Okay, 48 times 400 times 48, if you can get it, times
19,200 times 12.
$230,000 in new income a year. Okay, divided by what an investor would be willing to pay for the new income, divided by 0.04.
3.5.
Really? I would create another $5,760,000 worth of value in that property. So I could buy it. I could buy this property. What did I say? $14 million. It'll sell for more than that. 14 million divided by 48. See, you guys think it's too much money. It's $237,000 per unit for a 1980 asset. And you're like, oh, it's too much money. You're stealing it and you don't know it. This is where your terror comes from, because you don't know what you're doing. You're like, oh my God, I could have bought that back then for $5 million. You could pay $14 million today and it's worth it, every penny of it, because it's probably really worth $20 million. It's probably worth $20 million if you just simply do one thing, and it doesn't even include paint. Raise the rents. We just bought a deal, closed on it 1 week ago.
Mm-hmm.
What are we changing the rents right now?
$250 without doing anything.
We're not doing anything. It's a property right here in town. The rents are going to change $250 per month. If you don't want to pay it, you get to leave. We'll find somebody else that wants to live there. It's a great property, great location. It's sick. How many units?
235.
Times 235. Do the math on that. Times 235 units. Okay, we will get it across every unit, and I'll guarantee you by next year, those rents will be up $400, not $250. That will be $58,750. If I'm going too fast, folks, just get the course, okay? Don't kill yourself here. Like, oh, fuck, I'm getting confused. Get the damn course. GrantCardone.com/invest. GrantCardone.com/invest. GrantCardone.com/, just put the / and put invest. Get the damn course.
If you need to make payments, there's a payment option on the page too.
Yeah. 58,700.
Times 4% cap rate.
70,000. Is that $70,000? No, that's $705,000 a year. New income. Now, I didn't do anything to the property. We're going to power wash it.
We are.
You know what power washing is? I power washed my place this weekend for $2,500. Okay, we're going to power wash the damn thing. I'm going to divide it by 3.5.
Because 3.5 is the cap rate that
Somebody's-
an investor would be willing to buy a deal at.
That represents a new value of $20 million. Don't worry about what I paid for it. Don't worry about it. I can tell you what I paid for it, but what I'm telling you is if I increase the rents, no matter what I paid for it, The rent increase is what the next guy is willing to pay for. You understand? It's the rent increase that increases the value, unlike a house. When I increase the value of the rents, when I increase proven rents, what happens is it pulls and lifts what the next guy can pay, the next guy or gal can pay for the real estate asset. And what's crazy is because we understand this, I went to some of my friends and said, hey guys, I'm giving you money right here. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you a bunch of money here. Do you want to raise money? How much money did we raise on this deal?
We raised 24 million, so we were over by 4 million in 7 days.
In 7 days. Hey guys, here's the story. Here's the real estate. I'll just show you a picture of it since I'm talking about it. There it is right there. Fucking gorgeous. Bought it off market. Never even hit the market. Called the guy and said, hey, I know you own this. Can I buy it from you? Sure, man. One of the easiest deals I've ever done in my life. I always talk about it's never easy, but this was easy. If we raise the rents only $200, that property will not be worth $69 million. It will be worth $89 million. Okay? I'm so confident on that asset, I paid cash for it. Now you're like, oh my God, I can't do all that. Remember where I started. First deal, $3,500. Second deal, 0. Third deal, $350,000. Okay, let's go back to my Cedar Woods deal, Johnny. Okay, today's value, that deal's worth $15 million today. Maybe more, I don't know. Okay, if I took that deal, remember my exit, no exit? Remember the exit, no exit? Don't kill yourself, folks. You're killing yourself. You never get rich working. You cannot get rich working. Okay, you cannot increase your net worth working. You cannot even fix your credit score working. I'm going to pay all my bills. I'm going to be a good person. None of that matters, man. You can pay all your bills and be a good person. My mom was a good person, paid all her bills. If you don't increase your net worth, you cannot get in control of your life, okay? The game is an asset game, not a money game, okay? Today's value, that property is worth $15 million today. I'm telling you, if you could buy this deal for $15 million, go buy it today, okay? You could refinance $10 million out of the deal right now today. If I'd have kept this property, I could take $10 million in cash, actually $10.8 million in cash. I would only owe about $400,000 at this time if I'd have financed it the whole time. It would still cash flow $125,000 a year or thereabouts. It would still pay me $10,000 a month. I would get a check from the IRS. Not the IRS, but the bank. But I would have a little message for the IRS. Okay. Basically, hey, I got my $10 million. State of California, there you go. Federal government, I got another hand for you. You guys get nothing. I get $10 million. One deal can change your life. The reason you don't see these deals is you're not looking for them. You guys you're looking at Ethereum and Dogecoin and Tesla, and you're looking at all this stuff that's not even real. It's not real yet. It hadn't been proven. This is 2,000 years, man.
Oh, hey.
Before Jesus, people were building real estate looking for a place to live.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Which one of it was one of those real estate deals that lost half the value in a week? Which one of your deals did that? Which one?
None of my deals have ever lost half their value in a week.
Oh, the Bitcoin. Oh, that was the Bitcoin thing. That was the Dogecoin. Okay.
A house doesn't lose 40% of its value in a week. If so, you're picking the wrong markets. The way to know the right market to pick is to be in the market and know the market. In every city, including Flint, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, what's some dead markets? Lake Charles, Louisiana. There's parts of Lake Charles, Louisiana that are booming. There's parts of Lake Charles, Louisiana that just got slaughtered. If you live in the city, you go where the jobs go, man. You don't fight the trend. Just know what you're doing. Have knowledge about a market. All this information is accessible on the internet, by the way, called job migration. Where are the jobs going? Okay, who's hiring? What is the average wage? What can somebody actually pay for rent? All right, okay, let me show you a single. I'm going to go from multifamily to a single family deal. And I'm going to show you how a single family deal, while it made me a little bit of money, this one deal, when I knew what I was doing, this will be my fourth deal, would end up changing my life forever. Okay, the first three deals definitely affected my life, gave me some confidence. This next deal This next deal took everything to another level, okay? So you're gonna have to do more than one deal, unless you get lucky, unless you're luckier than I am, and you're like, one deal, first deal, boom, I just killed it, and I became super rich.
So now we're talking about a period of time here between 1986 from first home purchase to 2000.
Yeah, I found a house. I lived in the neighborhood, exactly what I'm telling you right now. I lived in a neighborhood. I knew this neighborhood was strong. I knew there was something positive happening there. Many of you, maybe you're in Denver today or you're in Detroit and you're looking around saying, dude, there's something happening here. Maybe you're in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Maybe you're in Denver or Austin. You're in Houston, parts of Houston. You're like, something is happening. Maybe you're in Los Angeles right now, California. There's actually great things happening over there, even though the government is doing everything they can to run the place into the ground. Maybe you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're like, boom, something's happening here. You're in Salt Lake City, man. Boise, Idaho. I can go over the whole list. Seattle, Washington. I can go out to the outer parts of Washington, some of those little... Tacoma. Maybe you're up in where Glenn Stearns was, up in, where did he do his show?
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie, Pennsylvania. You got these little pockets. Maybe you're in Baltimore. You're in parts of Maryland. You're like, something's happening here, man. Okay? When you see that, okay, you can buy anything. A house, duplex, fourplex, eightplex, 16 units. I found that happen. That happened for me in Los Angeles, California. I just moved to LA. I've been in LA maybe 7 days. And this woman, Mimi Sterrett, shows me a house. She's like, Grant, I know it's more than you can afford. No, this is the La Jolla house, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm in La Jolla, California. Anna Marie, not Mimi, Anna Marie, I was going out with her. She's like, man, there's this house, you know, on Camino de la Costa. I said, I know Camino de la Costa. And she's like, how do you know it? I said, I live on Camino de la Costa. And she's like, there's a house for sale on Camino de la Costa, $64.50. And they just gave the La Jolla agent, it's a La Jolla house, and they gave it to an LA broker. I'm like, oh shit. I said, Anna Marie, who is it? Anna Marie gives me the information. I go look at the house. I look over the fence. I'm looking at the house right now. I look over the fence, true story. I can't be more than 35, 36 years old. I look over the gate, and I'm like, I'm fucking buying this house, okay? They wanted $5 million for the house, okay? Now, you got to have tells. In poker, there's tells. In real estate, there's a lot of tells, okay? The broker, the real estate agent is a tell, okay? This is a La Jolla house listed by an LA broker. The moment I saw it, I'm going to steal this house. Okay, if you're in La Jolla, okay, first of all, if you're selling your real estate, do not sell it yourself. Sell it with a broker. If you don't use the broker, the best broker in town, by the way, pay them whatever their little fee is, because they will give you the stamp that you're cool and that you're the house. Otherwise, they'll naysay and they'll badmouth your house. For some reason, this house had only sold 2 times in its entire recorded history. Oceanfront. Like crazy location, and they wanted $5 million for it, and they had already moved out of the house, so the house is vacant.
So this is another number one,
a tell
agent from out of the area. Number 2, they had already moved out of the house.
So I go to the house without the agent. The agent gave me the information. She wasn't the listing agent. She was in Point Loma. I would not talk to her about this later. I'd sleep with her, but I wouldn't talk to her about the house.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'm just keeping it real. Okay. But you know, you get your information from a lot of different places. So I go to the house and I ring the doorbell. Cherie comes to the front door. Cherie would end up working for me. Cherie was the house sitter of the house. She's the one that managed the estate. And I said, Cherie, and I started doing the razzle dazzle with Cherie. Right?
The razzle.
You know what the razzle dazzle is?
The sweet talk?
You're awesome. You know?
I thought when you looked over the fence, you saw Cherie.
No. I buzzed the door. I still remember the buzzer right now. You know, I remember the whole house. I remember every detail about it. Right. So
cool.
I buzz the house. She comes out. I'm like, hey, I live in the neighborhood, and I heard maybe this house is for sale. She's like, oh, it is for sale. And I said, where are the people? And she's like, they're in Los Angeles. And I said, you know, how long have they been here? She told me how long they've been there. I'm like, well, I mean, do they love the house? They're like, no, they're done with it. Okay. This was at a time right after 2000. What was the date?
2001.
Dude, the internet had busted. The world was coming to an end. Negativity was everywhere. Okay, they wanted $5 million for this house. I paid them $3 million for this house. I went to Merrill Lynch where I think I had $200,000 in an account with Merrill Lynch. And I said, hey, would you guys give me a loan on this house? Sure, man. You gonna live there? Yeah. I said, how much you give me? Just keep the account with us and we'll give you $3 million. You gotta be kidding, man. Okay, this is before 2008. But this is 7 years before 2008. So I said, well, I got another house here on the street, across the street, by the way, and I need to sell that. And they're like, no, we're cool, man. You're good. You're working. You're making money. You're a good person. You pay your bills. They looked at everything. They're like, you're going to live there? We love this street. You're buying this house for $3 million? This house is worth $5 or $6 million easily. So they're like, we'll give you the loan. Why? Because if you default, bro, we'll just take the house. Okay? The house was listed with the wrong broker. If you can find a house with an out-of-state broker, out-of-location broker, or a shit broker, meaning nobody knows that broker, they don't know what they're doing. You just dealt with that recently. Okay? No offense. I hope they didn't hear that. But look, if they don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. Okay? Now, I took this house. I paid $3 million for the house. I put no money down. I would sell this house for $8.7 million. You just go on the internet.
July 18th of 2002. It was sold for $8.7 million.
Where are you selling?
I'm looking at it on Zillow. In the tax record.
Yeah.
So
you can
only 1 year later, you sold it for 8.7?
No. This was probably 4 years later because I had a lot of fun there.
Oh wow.
Now Zillow's saying this house is worth $5.7 million. That's so stupid.
The tax assessment in 2020 was $10.9 million.
Yeah. Now you're like, why'd you sell that house? Because it was time for me to go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what the most important thing in this house is. When I sold this house for a $5.7 million gain, because I owed $3 million. When I sold this house, I did what's called a 1031 exchange. Okay? Now, I got away with something a little tricky here. Okay? Because I bought what's called a like-kind exchange, and I bought this other place called 1401 Oriole. Now, this is a little more complicated. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about how I pulled this off, but it's called a 1031. We explain it in our course. I spent 2 hours talking about just about 1031s. And I took the entire $5.7 million, exchanged it into an $8.3 million purchase. Is that about right? I'm doing a lot of this off of memory now. Let's see what I paid for that beast.
7.35. Oh wait. Let's see.
That's probably right. 7.3.
Was it 1401?
Yeah, here it's in here. I'm gonna show it right now, Jared.
Okay, let me just get here. I'll get that quicker.
Okay. Yeah, $7 million in 2003. I traded this $5.7 million. I created an exchange account, and I bought a house for $7,350,000. Let me tell you the story. How I bought this house. Guy bought a house. He sold a production studio in London. He was dating this pop star. I'm not going to give you her name, but you guys would know it. He's dating a pop star. They move into the house. No furniture. They're all in lovey-lovey, doing all the kissy face and stuff. They're freaking loving each other. They're artists. They're into the whole art thing. They're putting art on the walls. Okay, literally, I saw the house with the art on the walls. I don't mean art on the wall like buying art and putting it on the walls. I mean drawing art onto the walls.
Oh, wow.
Okay, a mouse runs through the house, freaks the chick out. She will not go back to the house. He's already closed.
Oh my God.
He puts the house on the market. Can't imagine spending this much money on a house. Elena's like, you just sold your house for $8.7 million. Move the money from that house into this house. Lionel is one of the dark shadow richest people on the planet.
Russian oligarch.
He's one of Putin's guys. He's worth, who knows, $400 billion. Who knows what he's worth? He's worth nuclear arms money. So he makes an offer on the deal because he bought the neighbor. I won't sell him my house. He gets pissed off, says, fuck you, literally sends a message, fuck you, buys a house. This is a rich neighborhood. Lionel Richie's
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio's my neighbor.
Keanu
Dr.
Reeves.
Dre's in front of me. Keanu Reeves is behind me. What's her name? the hot chick that was in the James Bond movie, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
She lives there. Like it's a neighborhood of star-studded people, and then me. Okay, and so Abramovich sells the house to Sally Walton. Is it Sally or Alice? Alice Walton.
yeah.
She's one of the on the Forbes list. She's a multi-billionaire. She pays $23 million for the house next door. I put out news that I'm going to put a mega house on my place. She makes me a full price offer on my house. We sell it for $17 million. I make $10 million. Okay, so what have I made? I made $10 million on this one. I made $5.7 million on the other one. I have $15 million of money. Guess what I did? I 1031 the money. I talk about it in my course. Folks, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to lawyers to set up these 1031 exchanges. I'm giving you this information for $1,000 in this course. If all you learned is the 1031, I take the 1031 money, I get an agreement from Elena. We're done with houses. We need to take this money. She's like, you made so much money on these last two houses. I'm like, we are fooling around. This is stupid. We need to take this money and buy apartments. And we buy a $58 million real estate portfolio, and my entire life changed, okay? We took these two deals, $50 million, bought that asset right there, 1,000 units. Okay, this is what year now?
They tore the house down. They rebuilt the house.
Yeah, you see it now?
Yeah, look.
What, in LA?
And Oriole, yeah.
I don't think they did.
Look, they changed the
They
pool.
got it.
They
They
changed the pool. That like
Yeah,
it's
they
got
got
the
it.
same kind of footprint,
Yeah,
but they
got it.
changed
Yeah, they got
everything.
it. They got
yeah.
it. We were in it.
Yeah.
They didn't tear it to the ground though. They gutted every wall though.
Yeah.
They're rich, man. Okay, that's why I tell you guys, never compromise location, ever. Notice the thing about each of these assets, location is stupid. The Mesa deal that I told you, the Vista Mesa deal that I told you about, that I bought that apartment deal, if it's $15 million today, because I know the location, I would go back and buy that deal today if I was willing to be in California, because I know the location. So the first thing you never want to compromise is location, man. Location.
They scraped Dr. Dre's house.
Yeah, I think that's $60 million.
Jeez.
Okay, so I should have bought Dre's house because I knew that. I knew
That
the
lot
neighborhood.
was- that lot
It
was
was crazy,
amazing, yeah.
right? So, and this is about you guys. This is not about me. This is available in your marketplace right now. Wake up, folks. I want you to go out today when we're done here. I want you to go shop your neighborhood, and I want you to say, "Hey, do I get the feeling?" If you don't get the feeling, keep moving. I promise you, Cherry Creek, Colorado, south of Denver. All you got to do is drive through there and say, God damn, this feels good.
Yep.
Okay, look at the infrastructure. Okay, and Mr. Biden is going to dump $1 trillion into the U.S. marketplace fixing infrastructure. This housing boom is not over. We're at the beginning cycles. We took this and bought 1,000 units in Florida.
I think it was 2013 or 2014, right?
It was 2013.
2013, 8 years ago, I bought 1,000 units with the money I got from the sale of these two houses. This would change my life forever. Now, all these deals mattered, okay? All these deals mattered a lot. What are you showing, Johnny? Pictures of the house?
No, that's just the video. Yeah, it's just the
Okay,
video.
sorry. God, I forgot about that deal.
Summerstone.
Which one? Summerstone?
Shit. Oh my God. In between these deals, I get a phone call while I'm selling my house. I don't have the money yet. I get a phone call. I'm in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, and I get a phone call because I'm looking at deals every day. In our resource book, I'm going to give you in the front the names of the real estate brokers I've done business with. Every one of these guys know me. There's 3 pages of real estate agents.
Were you calling brokers and
Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, I'm every night I'm on the internet looking. Like I'll bet you I've looked at easily hundreds of thousands of deals, individual deals, not units. I'm looking at them all the time. When I'm up at night, I'm looking at deals. Okay. When I'm on Clubhouse, I'm looking at deals. When I'm on Instagram Live, I'm looking at deals. I guarantee you, I'm looking at deals. I never don't have a browser open with deals. If Jared opened my computer right now and went to my computer,
For sure.
he'd find open deals sitting in my computer right now. So this guy calls me from Charlotte, North Carolina, and says, hey man, I got a deal. Let me tell you right here. You got to know the broker. Okay? In commercial real estate, you have to know the broker. You cannot do this without a broker. You've got to know the guy. The guy calls me and says,
just because this is important.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means you have to get out and start talking to these people, like what Grant did. So like you got to know the broker. You got to get a relationship with them because they're the ones that control the deal. So you got to make the phone calls. You got to be in the
Dude,
market.
if they don't bless you, you're not buying this deal. Okay? All they want is their fee on this deal. And right now, this is what year did I buy Summerstone? This deal becomes ridiculous, by the way. This is only because I'm playing the game. This is not the deal that makes me rich, but this is the deal that just happens because you're in the game. And that's why I tell you guys, like right now, man, why would you go worry about having a place to live at and put palm trees in it when you guys can get rich right now? This is a super cycle for real estate. We've been joking about it for a long time, but the joke's becoming a reality, okay? This is going to happen. We have printed 40% of all the U.S. dollars in circulation today. 40%, almost a full 40%, did not exist 12 months ago. This is happening right now. Okay.
So that means the dollar becomes worth less.
No, the dollar needs places to go.
Yeah.
They need places to go. So what happens is asset values go up because you have more money chasing, right? You have money chasing assets. So you have more competition for the asset itself. So I get a phone call. This thing's in what's it called? The SEO, not SEO, the REO. It's return to the bank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Foreclosure.
Yeah, it's foreclosure. Okay. Hey Grant, $7.8 million buys this deal. It was 360 units. It was
70% occupied.
70% occupied. Now I know how to do the math. Okay, I'm going to give you the math in here. How does the math work to do the deal? Okay, I knew a bank that would give me a loan on what's called an unstabilized deal at 70% at cash flow. Okay, it actually would make me 10% on my money. I knew if I could get it to 90%, I'd make a little bit of money on it. I just didn't know how much money. Okay. So I knew how to get a loan on this deal with 400 grand. I'll show you exactly how to do this. I financed $7.4 million. It was a short-term loan. Was that a long-term loan? It was short.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. I kept this deal for 3 years. Took it from 72% to 95%. That deal sold for $23 million. While I was working out this portfolio deal, we made $14 million in that deal. I wasn't even planning on it. Like it just like pop here. No, the reason I was able to get it with so little money down is because they had a bad loan anyway. They're like, dude, we'd rather give it to you than give it to them. Now I'm gonna go to this deal just to show you this is real. Folks, you don't have to be a genius to do this. You don't have to go to college to do this. This building was yellow when I bought it. It was 36 acres of land. I'm driving on the property. As soon as I drove up, guess what happened? Fuck, I'm buying this deal. Like my heart, I showed up at 6:30 in the morning, and I drive up on the property. I did a red eye. Got out. I told the guy on the phone, "Hey, bro, I'm taking a red eye to come see this deal." He's like, "Oh, red eye." I said, "Yeah."
Man,
you picked me up at the airport at 6.
Life before the jet.
Oh yeah, I got on American Airlines, flew into Charlotte. Guy picks me up at the airport. He's like, "Man, you kind of like I talked to you yesterday. You here today? That's the game, baby. That's the game." Okay.
Now, why is that important for the
Because
broker?
man, I'm showing urgency, man. I tell them the story. Like you guys got to learn the story. I got 16 hours of video where I teach you the story to tell. And the story is, I need this asset. I got a bunch of cash. I got to get into an asset right now. The clock is ticking. I got a 1031 going, or I got cash that has to get placed before the quarter. I'm telling this story to get the broker pregnant with me as a buyer. Okay, I'm literally impregnating the broker because the broker is going to pass the story on to the seller. I got a guy on the hook. He's flying in tonight. Okay, I'm not talking to him on the phone. Bro, I got on a plane from LA to there. This one trip would make me $14 million. I left my family, my daughters, I gotta go. Got on a red eye, spent the time, got there. You're like, I'd do that for 14 million too. But I didn't know it was gonna make me 14 million. This is what I knew. I knew I would be paid to wait. I put 400 grand down, made 40,000 bucks a year to wait for 14 million bucks. I was paid to wait. Okay? You guys are paid to trade time for freaking pieces of paper. Okay? You're paid for your time. I was paid to wait. You're paid to work. I'm paid to wait. So I'm willing to be paid to work. I'm willing to go to work and get paid, but I need to take the money that I get paid and then I need to put it to work, and I wait. And I wait for the rents to go up, okay? Now this property today, when I bought it, the rents were under 500 bucks. Let me just see what Summerstone rents are today. Because the guy that bought this from me, he's probably going to make 20 million too. That's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
The rents on this property today,
1,200.
885. I'm looking at them right now, to 1750 a month. Okay, so watch. 885
Wow.
to 1,700 a month. I know what you're thinking right now, Charlotte. Okay, my rents were 600 bucks when I bought it. 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
9 years.
What is that, 9 years? 9 years. The rents have gone from 600. Let's split the difference. Let's say they're 1,300 bucks now. They doubled.
$700.
Okay, so literally the guy that paid $23 million, they did a good job with this exterior too. They made it look good, man. It looks good. Landscape it looks good. It's 36 acres in Charlotte.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Let me see.
So how many units was that?
360.
So
Watch the
360.
math on this. Remember, I said 200 is your number.
Yeah.
200 and what rents?
200. Look for $200 rent increases. Look for the gap.
So they pick up 700 in rent.
So 700 times
360,
360 times
12.
12.
Divided by point.
$3 million in new income a year. Let me just do the math again. So
Yeah.
just so you guys understand how fast this gets big.
9 years.
Okay? Let's just do 1 year. Let's just do 1 year. Okay? The rents were 600.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're 1,300. $700 times 360 times 12
360 is the units.
times years.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's just do all you got to do to figure out the new valuation is the 1 year. But you guys got to know the math. You have to know the math to do this. This is simple math. This is always the same kind of math. Multiplication and addition. I'm sorry, multiplication and division. It is never adding and subtracting. Okay? 700 times 360 times 12 is 3 million new income
Per year.
per year. $3,024,000 divided by, I'm going to do a 6 cap. You got to know the cap rate. If you're taking notes, there's cap rates with different markets. Probably a 5 cap.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe even a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going to do a 5. The new.
Makes me sick too. Oh.
Ryan's over here getting sick. The new value of the increased rent would be 60 million. Now you're not going to keep the entire $3 million. You're probably going to keep 60% of it because some of it's going to go to expenses. They had to do something to improve the property. So I'm just going to go ahead and gut this and say it's $2.4 million.
Still
Shouldn't have sold this deal.
Still 45.
I made 23 million and I shouldn't have sold the deal.
Still 45 to 50 million bucks.
48 million. That means the guy that paid me too much
Yep.
is going to make another 48 million.
Double up. He's going to double up.
Now I know some of you are thinking right now, no, he's not going to double up because he didn't put that much money down.
Got it.
He put $6 million down. He's going to make 12x on his money.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, the guy that bought the deal for me raised the money from investors. So that's the other thing y'all need to understand. The easiest money to raise on the planet worldwide, crowdfunding investors has proven to be better and easier in real estate than any other asset class. including technology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should be getting your attention right now. For those of you who think this is a scam, this can't happen, I just included in here every deal I've ever done. Here's my current portfolio. This is public documented information. As of June 10th, 2021, there's our current portfolio. That's my current portfolio. All has very conservative valuations. We're probably 300 million lower than it should be. Okay? There's a real estate graph right there of the units that we bought, timing. This is all public data. I know there's a bunch of skeptics out there. You're like, man, this is too good to be true. Might be too good to be true, folks, but the thing about real estate is it's real. Okay? And if it's real, it's documented. There's a recording, a record. What's it called? Public record?
Mm-hmm.
There's public records of every close I've ever done. Okay? So, it's not too late. This has happened.
It's hard to fake a sign that says 10x living in front of these deals.
Yeah, dude, we have almost 9,200 units, 9,218 units right now. It's got 2.2 billion, probably.
I think this
$2.5
is super important for people to see.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if anybody's seen Warren Buffett's wealth graph of basically how he made his fortune, it looks very similar to this.
Yeah, it goes like this. Like all this started for me when the real wealth that I've created has happened in the last 10 years, not the first 25. The first 25 was me learning the game and having the confidence. So the information I'm sharing with you right now, I would pay millions of dollars for what I'm giving you right now. Because I know that everything I'm telling you right now happened, it's real, and it's really happening. It's happening right now. It's going to happen bigger now than it's happened in the past 20 years. Some of you are going to miss this just because you're like, I'm too late. That's the story you tell yourself over and over. Your mom and daddy did it too, and so did your grandparents. I'm too late, man. I'm too late, okay? The guy that rolled with Jesus, I'm too late. Like, everybody thinks they're too late, and then I'm like, bro, you should have been buying this shit the entire time. In fact, you should be buying it on the way up, not on the way down. And that's the problem with some of the teachers and educators out there. They're waiting for you to do it in the crash. That's not when you make the cash. Man, do it when it's on the swoop. Okay? All right. Another deal. Or do you want to tell them about the offer? Because I feel like this I'm so overwhelmed with deals. We're overwhelmed with deals. Because I'm trying to show you guys a bunch of different deals. I showed you one single family. Mm-hmm. A single plex
Four
rented.
single families.
I showed you a second single family that was in Houston, Texas that I bought at the same time and I lived in and made $30,000 on that. The third deal I did was the 48 units. Mm-hmm. First multifamily deal I made, $5 million. $4 million is what I netted out of that deal plus cash flow. Fourth deal was back to a single family house. The fifth deal was a single family house. The sixth deal was a 360 unit apartment complex. I had never bought one of those that big.
That's a big jump.
Okay. I showed you what I made on it, and I'm showing you what the next guy's going to make on it. There's probably been 2 buyers since me on that last deal. Here's a deal that Jared and I bought just 5 years ago.
Reese?
Mm-hmm. This is after I bought this big portfolio. I found this piece of garbage. This guy calls me, hey man, I got something in Stewart. You know Stewart? Yeah, I own a bunch of shit in Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I own 1,000 units in Stewart, bro. Okay? Seller wanted $6.1 million. I paid him 4.8. Okay, always. Okay, you want a broker on the deal. Find the wrong broker, you get the right deal. Okay, so I put 400 grand down on this deal. All I did was the rehab, right, Jared? On this deal.
Mm-hmm.
We raised the rents on a line of credit. We rehabbed the property. We used a rehab loan. It's a simple rehab loan. I'll explain the whole thing to you. We raised the rents to $1,000 from $800. Remember that $200? Look for the gap. Look for a property where you can raise the rents $200 a month.
And typically, to find a deal like this, it's like maybe it's been owned for a while.
Yeah, like
it's almost 100% occupied.
Yeah, it's 100% occupied. Maybe it's in a kind of a crummy neighborhood. The property has been, deferred maintenance, meaning we're not paying attention to it anymore. The guy's cost basis is really low. Maybe he's an older guy and he's just not interested anymore. Like there's
He doesn't want to work the deal.
No, he doesn't want to work the deal. He's a real estate guy that's made a bunch of money. He's making a bunch of cash flow every month, and he's frugal. That's the other thing. You're looking for a seller that's like, he's not driving a Rolls Royce. He doesn't want the lifestyle. He's not flying private. He's not going on trips. Dude, he's rich, and he still shops at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Like he goes there. By the way, he doesn't buy online.
Instacart, yeah.
He doesn't do Instacart like Ryan does. Ryan's never been in a grocery store, by the way.
3 years.
Okay, and so because this guy wants to go to Home Depot, he's going to actually change the labels and the prices of shit.
That's what it is.
He's rich, but he's a mooch.
Right.
When you find that guy, you can steal his real estate.
Mm-hmm.
He's rich, he's a mooch, he's cheap. He won't even lend his nephew $100. Okay? Everything to him is like if the government comes out with a program, he's the first person. He could be getting food stamps and be a rich guy. I know people like he's doing maybe some Section 8 stuff. He's doing some city stuff. Everything's an opportunity for him. Everything's a shortcut. There's a type of people like this in real estate, and there's a bunch of them. Okay, so we took this property over. All we did was paint it. We painted it and put some gates on it. We changed the balcony. Remember? Okay. What did I pay for that deal?
6.1 or
No,
4.8,
no,
4.8, 4.8.
No, I paid $4.8 million. I got a local loan with $400,000. I took the $400,000. I said I'm just going to rehab it. It's not a hard loan to get on multifamily as long as it's producing income. Okay, remember the $200. We took the rents from $800 on this property to $1,000 like instantly. We went back to the bank. Couldn't have been more than 9 months.
It wasn't. It was like 6 months.
Okay, 9 months, 6 months to 9 months later, we went back to the bank based on the new income. It's 104 units.
So 200 times
200. It's $20,000 a month new income. $21,000 a month new income times 12. So you're looking for a gap. Maybe you're in Detroit. And you're like, hey, there's a $600 rental, and I think the rent should be $800. Okay, good. You loved the property when you drove up. Number one, you liked it. Number two, oh, the rents are probably too low because the guy bought it back in 1995 and he hadn't moved the rents much. Or maybe he moved them from $450 to $600 and quit raising the rents. Like rents should be moving right now, and they're not. Okay, so we found the deal. The $20,800. That's free cash flow times 12. It's $249,000 in new income. $240,000 in new income. Okay. What did I put down on the deal?
400.
That's new income. It was already cash flow. Okay. We refinanced that deal for what? I forget. 15 million bucks.
I think it was 8.
10.
What's it on my books? Yeah, I got a loan for $10 million on this deal. What did I put down? $400,000. I owed $4 million. Didn't I owe $4 million?
4.4.
4.4.
Mm-hmm.
I got a loan for $10 million. We took out 5.6 million in cash. The tax on that was
0.
Wow.
So just imagine me
What
like
was
I'm
your
new.
check last month?
I'm new. $3,000.
he gets $3,000 a month. I get $30,000.
So that deal. Imagine this. So I'm just starting to invest with him. I put $150,000 into that deal.
This Jared talking.
He gives me $115,000 back 6 months after he bought the deal.
He put down how much? How much he put down?
150.
He put down 150. I give him back 116.
And then 2 years later, you gave me like $400,000.
He got okay. So he puts 100. This happened. Okay. And by the way, if you guys don't want to learn this game, invest with me at Cardone Capital.
That's what I did.
Our minimum investment at Cardone Capital right now is $100,000. Okay. Anybody puts $100,000 in today, I'll give you the course, the $997 course for free. The offer for free. We'll just take it out of Ryan. Okay. But you got to get the money in today. You do the money today. Your other choice is pay $1,000 for the course and learn this yourself, or or give us $100,000 a day and let us put it to work. You got to
If
be
you
in
need
the,
payments, we can break it up into 2 payments, and it's 100% money back guarantee. So if it ain't what you think it is, then we'll give you your money back.
on what? Not on the $100,000.
Not on the 100
investment.
grand.
Not on
On
the
the course.
100,000.
On the course, yeah.
Yeah, wait, stay with me.
Yeah.
Don't talk about money back guarantee on a real estate investment, okay? Because you guys could be sitting there for a second. Some of this takes more than 4 months. It's just window. You're getting paid to wait. We expect like a 4 to 6% return on most of our investments while we wait for a 2x to 3x return. That's what we look for on every deal. So if you want to do it with me, you can do it with me. Minimum's $100,000. You want to do it on your own? It's going to cost you $997. Okay, grantcardone.com/invest. All right. So watch what we did with this deal. This deal is worth $14 million today. Jared put in $100,000. I gave him back 116. No, how much did I give him first?
150 in.
150. Sorry, he put 150. He was a 1% owner in the deal. I give him back 116 on the first refi, the exit, no exit.
That was in 6 months.
We still own this deal.
Yeah.
We've refinanced it 3 times now. Okay. Second time I gave you what?
430, I think.
$430,000. How much money does Jared have in the deal now? He put in 150. This is the only money he gave me was 150. I gave him back 116. He's got 34,000 left in the deal. I gave him 430. He's got $406,000 now.
Negative, right?
400
And
and
then
I've gotten plus. Yeah.
he's plus now. He's got $400,000 a gain.
And that happened
What's your
over-
taxes been on this?
0.
And what do I pay you every month?
Between $2,000 and $3,000 a month.
And he gets $3,000 a month. He gets 30, and he's in like I don't know 13 of my deals.
The deal
That's
still
one
does,
deal.
The deal does $400,000 a year still.
Okay, the deal's worth $14 million today. Does how much a month?
$400,000 a year. So
$400,000 of cash flow a year.
35 a month.
Okay. And I already took $4 million out. So you guys are like, man, how's Cardone buying jets and shit? Because I buy jets, I buy stuff once I get enough of this money, this refi money. You shouldn't go buy a jet right now. What you should do is take this $4 million, by the way, and go buy another $16 million complex. And that's how I've been buying real estate, okay? We refinance, we exit, no exit. We don't sell the asset. We refinance the asset, reinvest the money, okay? All right. These are the deals I've sold. I shouldn't have sold these deals. Entire list, public information, Heron Point, Realm, Tennessee Portfolio, Summerstone, Claremont, Green Tree, Pueblo Villas, Sunset View, Vista, Montana, Westgate Park, Wilmot Vista. I love that deal. I shouldn't have sold that deal. Barcelona, San Diego, California, Camelot, Chula Vista, California, Canyon Point, Tucson, Arizona, Catalina Mission, Tucson, Arizona, Desert Tree, Palms, La Mesa, Arcadia Park. Oh, I knew that deal. When I saw that deal, I knew I was stealing it.
Where was that at?
Tucson, man. I drove up, and it was late in the cycle. This is right before 2000, the crash.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, it was one of the last of the. What's interesting about that deal was it was one of the last assets I bought in Tucson. I had already bought 2,200 units. Added those. That was the best of the whole. It was the tail of the cycle, and it was the best deal. Cedarwood, Palermo, Neptune, those are all in San Diego. La Mesa, F Street, Montelena, Austin, Texas. I made $4 million in that deal in 4 months.
No, it was 30 days.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but by the
$4
time you closed-
million, and by the way,
Because
that asset today is probably worth $50 million. Shouldn't have sold it.
That I remember that deal because you bought it, you listed it.
Yeah.
The day you closed, you listed it.
Well, I went and took a piss on him.
He literally did nothing with it. Relisted it after he closed.
I didn't even put paint
and
on
sold
nothing.
It was like
I
was
made $4 million.
Literally a flip
Couldn't have been 90 days. Whatever period of time it took to sell
because the broker.
Okay, that's all this is happening right now. Okay, now for you guys, I'm done talking about my deals. Look, I can go find, because I know a lot of you out there are like, oh my God, this can't happen today. Right now, today in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, I did this morning. I went on a LoopNet search, and I found deals available right now. You guys are in Birmingham. Who's in Birmingham today? You're in Mobile, Birmingham, Daphne, Alabama, Fairhope. I don't know. What's that other place in Alabama I used to go to all the time?
Gulf Shores.
Huntsville. Dude, those markets are on fire, man. Mobile, not the Mobile, the South.
Montgomery.
Panhandle.
Montgomery, the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destin.
There's a deal this morning I looked at, 10 units, $350,000. Somebody didn't go buy this deal, something wrong with y'all. I mean, something's just wrong with you.
No, dude, we looked this deal
10
up. We
units.
looked this deal up yesterday. We put this in here. Today it was sold. It's not. It's
Well,
not listed anymore.
I would not throw the deal away. I would. Y'all need to find this deal. Okay,
Go in
I'll
as a
pull
backup.
Huh?
Go in as a backup offer. Or
Go
something.
within a backup offer. Just offer a good bailout, or maybe you offer the guy another $50,000 just to take your deal and move on with the thing. This deal, $50,000 or $15,000. You could probably buy it with 15. You finance $300,000. Okay, the loan on that's going to be $9,000 a year. How the hell is that a bad deal?
10 units.
10 units, man.
Even,
I almost don't even care the location.
even if the rents were $500 or $700.
Do you understand the payment on this place for 10 units, the payment per month? Is that right? We don't deal with these numbers, so
So
the payments are $800
It's-
a month for the whole 10 units.
Wow.
So I took you
One
guys to
unit.
big, now I want to take you back. I want to take you back to get you started, okay? Your payments on this would be less than where you rent for 10 units in Birmingham, Alabama. And Birmingham, Alabama has been in Birmingham ever since I've been alive. It's been there the whole damn time. It's been there through the Civil War.
People live there too.
People live in Birmingham. Some people live in Birmingham. They've never left Birmingham the entire time. Okay, they've never even been on a plane. Okay, the NOI on this deal would be $30,000 a year. Your payment would be $9,000, and your cash flow would be $21,000 a year. You would make a positive cash flow, $1,850 a month. Now what you need, how do I make the call? How do I write the LOI up? What's the PSA look like? How do I do my due diligence? All of it's in the resource book. All of it, okay? I give it all to you. Why are you doing this? Oh, because I'm a good guy. That's why I'm doing this. Why am I doing it on a Saturday? Because my wife's in Tampa with the kids. I'm here. I'm like, let's do a webinar for real estate, okay? 118,000 people showed up for it. All right, grab this, folks. Introduction to my course. 16 hours of video, the real estate resource book. This is the most unbelievable resource book you will ever get in real estate, and a 3-day summit. It will cost you $21,000 to buy this on my website. You can, by the way, you can buy it individually. You don't want to come to the 3-day summit. You don't want the resource book. You don't want pieces and parts of this. You can buy each of these individually off my website. The introduction course is $9,000. The real estate book at my website is $2,500. Go look at it right now. The summit, can they buy the summit?
Yeah.
How much is it?
The retail price $5,000.
$5,000. You can buy 3 days with me in Miami, $5,000, or you can get it all here today for only $997. And check this out. I'm going to give you a little bone, because people like bones. Some people like them more than others. The bonus for today is going to be, we're going to do 6 private calls starting Monday at noon. 6 private calls where I'm going to actually do a Zoom with you. I'll be taking your questions and looking at your deal. So if you got a deal, you can't get the funding for it, you can't get the debt for it, maybe the deal's too big for you, you're scared of it, I'll underwrite the deal with you on the call. The only people that can actually ask questions in this call are the people involved in this coaching program. So we'll do that for everybody that's already signed up.
Okay.
We're going to give everybody that signed up the bonus. I think we had some people already hook up on this.
Yeah.
The website is grantcardone.com/REI. You get the introduction course, the real estate summit, 3-day
Yes.
live.
Is it invest or REI?
I'm
Forward
sorry,
slash invest.
grantcardone.com/invest.
So just congratulations to Julie, Daryl, Fernando, Mark, Jorge, Renell, Federico, Powell, Wade, Joe, Josh, Michael, Sheldon, Kenton, Michelle, Leonardo, Henry, Maria, Jason. They're going. It's going and going. There are a lot of people. Get ready.
You
Congratulations.
guys don't have to stay here, okay? Because I want to go over some of these questions they have. Y'all don't have names.
But this is exciting for us too.
Yeah, the ultimate resource book, you get that for that's included. 6 private coaching calls. I mean, they show that as $5,000. You can't buy it. Okay, you can't buy this, you can't be part of this unless you do this. The retail value is $22,491. You want to take advantage of it? You want to get started in real estate? You want to get certainty? You want to get confidence? You want to know? You want to get the eye? Dude, I got the eye.
Yeah.
Ryan told me the other day, he's like, man, you got the eye, bro.
You're a picker.
I'm a picker, bro.
You're a picker.
Some of you pick your nose. I don't. I pick real
deals.
estate. Okay, I pick real estate that'll make me money.
But this
Yeah.
how simple you keep it, Grant. Because the two things I got stuck on is how do I know what's a good deal?
Yeah.
And so once I found like a deal that I wanted, I didn't
Yeah.
know how to write an LOI. So
Yeah.
just
Good.
those two things alone is.
So look, first thing about a good deal is the location. It is not the asset itself. Oh my God, I love the kitchen. Dude, kitchens are nothing. All kitchens get replaced. Locations cannot be replaced. Anything you can replace, do not value it.
And
The
there's-
floors, the walls, the paint, the curtains, it's all bullshit.
So what I was going to say, the one thing that you say all the time too is you're like, there is some bad information out there because one of the things that I used to always hear was buy the cheapest home in the nicest neighborhood.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would buy the best location. The home wouldn't matter to me. I would buy the biggest lot in the juiciest part, like a vein. Well, real estate's like veins, right? When you go get, when you want to get a shot or you want to get
An IV or
an IV, they're looking for the vein. They're looking for a vein to hit right into the main vein. If you wanted to kill somebody, you just find that one artery, right? With real estate, if you want to kill it, you find the best part of that block. And you pay up. Pay up for that location. Never compromise. Okay? Now look, I mean, I know a lot of guys are teaching this other thing because you've been to those classes.
For sure.
None of them own more real estate than I do.
Nope.
You can take all of them together, combine all the bullshit they've ever bought, and I still own more real estate than they do. So I'm just telling you, there's a lot of ways to play the game, and I'm not the biggest guy. I'm just telling you, the Blackstones of the world, they own the best stuff. The J.P. Morgans, okay? It's not the Roberts and the
Davids
Kennys and the Davids and even the Grants. It's not the Grant of 20 years ago. It's the Grant I'm becoming because I'm studying the Blackstones, the J.P. Morgans, the whales.
And so, like, just so people understand, like, the amount of money, like trillions of dollars
Gus,
in real, like
there is $10 trillion sitting in home equity.
Wow.
Dead money. This is dead money. This is one of the great black holes in America today. This is a shame that this is happening. You guys are proud of your equity? This is stupid. This is ridiculous. Don't tell anybody you got your house paid for. It's freaking stupidity. Okay? You shouldn't have the house and you shouldn't have the equity. That equity should be converted into these assets that I'm talking about. So number one, never violate the location. Never compromise location ever, ever. So whether you're a car dealership or a Starbucks or you're buying multifamily, never ever pay the extra rent or the price to have the better location because you'll always have that traffic, okay? Number two, ideally you're looking for 16 units. Remember, my goal was to make you guys $1 million, okay? The reason I've always hung on the 16 to 32 is because I know a lot of people are like, oh, he only wants about 16 and 32. He's an entitled person. The reason I want you to keep that number is because if I can get to the 32, you make $1 million. You guys want to make $1 million? That's the math. 200 times 32 is $1 million in new value every time. Okay. So the third thing you're looking for is you're looking for the gap. You're looking for the what's it called in Wall Street? It's the
delta.
The delta. The delta is it's an $1,100 rent and it should be $1,300. If you know that's real and that's easy to substantiate, Apartment Finder, Realtor.com, LoopNet. I give you every website that you can go to. We pay. What do we pay that group for all our database?
70 grand a year, 80
60,
grand.
70 grand.
Yeah, it's 60,
Yeah,
70 grand a year.
I'm going to give you access to the information where you don't have to pay $70,000 a year for the same information that we access. Okay, so you're looking for the gap, and the gap's 200, right? So if I take 32, let me just do the math. 200.
And the gap's calling the neighbors too. I mean, pick up the phone and just call the neighbors. That's what you do.
Yeah, 6,400 times 12 is what? Is that $80,000 a year? Let me just do the math. 200 That's 32.
76,000.
Yeah, so it's almost 76,800 a year. Divide that by 6. I'm just going to take a 6 cap rate.
1.2.
1.2 million.
1.28.
1.2. I tell you, if you find 32 units, increase the rents $200, bang, you'll make $1.2 million in new
So
rent.
just like
you
a
want to
super
become a
quick-
millionaire? I just showed you exactly how to become a millionaire.
So just a super quick. Find a sleepy broker. Find a deal that's been owned by the same guy for a long time that
Yep.
looks a little tired but it's in a great
And he's
location. Look for something that's 32 units and
And
look for
ideally-
something that's probably $200
A $200
under
delta.
market.
Okay, $200 delta. So like here's the deal. I'm gonna show them this deal in Bakersfield because a lot of you guys in California, oh, it's all over in California. You're so ridiculous. Every thought that you have that's negative, understand there's 30 million people in California that think exactly the same way. There are only a handful of people that own all the real estate in this country. I'm one of them, and every day I wake up sick of myself. Every day, Ryan can tell you. Goddamn, we only own 10,000 units. I'm going to own 40,000 units one day. So again, the number of units is the most important thing. But here's the deal in Bakersfield. I found this deal this morning. Okay, Bakersfield, California. I went on the LoopNet right here, and I'm like, let me look at Bakersfield, because somebody showed up in our registration that was from Bakersfield. And let's see if I can find 308 South Chester Avenue. Oh man, I don't want to be in Bakersfield. Okay, well good. So you don't need to live
People
there.
live in Bakersfield.
You don't need to live. You don't need to live there. You need to buy there and rent it to the crackhead that's going to live there. Okay. If you got $15,000, you can buy that deal. Did I say crackhead?
You did.
Okay. Because I can't say cracker anymore. Okay, you're going to finance $330,000. The payment on $330,000. How much is that? $330. I bet you I can borrow that money for 4% today. You think? Ron?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's 0.04.
All in principal pay down 5.9. Yeah.
$13,200. I mean, I get loans that are interest only for 5 years on this deal. $13,200. The rent. What's the rent on this beast? I'm gonna look up the rent right here. The rent's right there. Here it is on the site. Price per unit is $86,000 a unit. You can't build this, folks. Just so you understand, in Bakersfield, California, to permit that property, it would cost you $40,000 in paper fees.
Yeah.
It would cost you 40 grand before you put a stick up, a piece of concrete, or those bricks. Before you put that little flower garden or that air conditioning unit in that window, you would pay the state of California $40,000 for times 4 for permits. So you're going to spend $40,000 times at least 4, maybe more than that, $160,000. I'm buying the whole place for double that. And I get cash flow the first day. That's why I'm telling you, in the beginning, don't build it, man. Buy it, okay? So you would have about $5,000 cash flow from this deal in year 1. What did you put down?
15.
Okay? Your capital's paid back in 3 years. Now, when you look at this place, when I look at this place, I don't know the location of this place. But I'm just telling you, just looking at this, Johnny, can they see what I see?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, talk to me, man, every once in a while. Okay? So, yeah.
What you see, they see what we see.
I see what you're saying.
See.
Okay. So when I look at this place, the first thing I see is, okay, I'm gonna paint it. Okay. I'm gonna put some fake grass down that driveway, and I'm gonna put a big plumeria tree.
Plumeria, huh?
Plumeria.
I don't
Let
even
me
know
show
what
you
that
plumeria.
is.
Plumeria is a
Dude,
drought.
Grant and his trees, man. I tell you, if you guys knew that Grant had a superpower other than real estate, and if I told you it was trees and flowers,
Landscaping?
you would, yeah.
You're another
He's
life.
a green thumb.
lands-
He's a genuine green thumb.
He's a landscaper in his previous life.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a plumeria tree. Can you show them my plumeria tree, John?
I gotta see what this plumeria tree is.
Dude, I'm gonna put a big plumeria tree. They do great in
Does it-
California.
does it got-
I'm gonna put bougainvillea in that brick. Never have to water it. It won't be a watering bill. I'm gonna keep it trimmed. It's gonna pop hard red. Then I'm gonna put a white plumeria tree in the front yard.
A little curb appeal. Get a little,
yeah.
get a little plumeria curb appeal.
Look, this tree right here. In fact, I'm gonna go find this tree somewhere.
Rip it up out of the ground.
Johnny, show them this tree. This exact tree, Johnny. I want some because this tree is a beast.
They see what you see.
See, look at that tree. Okay? That tree is beautiful. You can't see it's behind the camera.
Oh, this one right there? Okay, got
See
it.
this one?
Little white flowers.
Look at that.
Looks
Put
like
that in
something.
front of there.
Mm-hmm.
Bang, shebang, diggity dogs. We got to paint this thing white. The trim needs to be
Maybe gray.
blue or gray, a nice blue or gray. Get rid of the metal fence. Getting rid of shit helps property, okay? Getting rid of stuff. Take the satellite piece at the back, on the front, put it in the back.
Would you do anything on the side of the house on the driveway there?
Yeah, I would plant, it's in the shadow
put a
right now,
plant
so I
around
can't
it,
quite
yeah.
see it. But
Move the wires.
I would put artificial grass along the side right
Yeah.
there. I'd probably put a little header above the windows. But dude, it's about curb appeal, man.
Yeah.
It's about, it's about popping the place. Okay. Now, if I raise the rents $200, let's see how much money we make. Because right now, all we know is the cash flows. So there's two games to play here. One is the cash flow, and the other is the APP or the APPR. Okay, the appreciation. So I know I got the $5,000 a year cash flow. Let's see if I can appreciate the place and increase the cash flow. So let's say I can raise those rents because I did some cool stuff to it. I increased the rents $9,600 a year. Now, for me to change the rents $9,600 a year, the plumerias tree is going to cost me
1,500.
$1,500. Let's go buy a nice one. The bougainvillea is going to cost me $200. The artificial grass is going to cost me $300 or $400. The paint's going to cost me $1,200. I don't know what the inside looks like. I don't really care.
Right.
Fix the outside before you fix the inside. Okay, it's what everybody does. The whole world's fixing our outsides. Ain't nobody fixing their inside.
Lipstick.
We'll find out.
That
you're
was
fucking
deep
psycho
right
later.
there.
Yeah,
That was
lipstick,
deep.
lipstick on a
Paint,
pig.
lipstick,
On a pig.
hair, whatever, infusions, whatever, some muscles, whatever Ryan's doing, we'll do. Okay,
It
so,
works.
So $9,600. We got $9,600 in new rent. Is that new rent? Divided by 0.06 in Bakersfield. I just increased the value of the property $160,000. What did I buy it for?
345.
It was $345,000. I put $15,000 down. I increased my net worth
160.
to $500,000 now. Okay. I took 15 grand and 12x'd it. All I did was move the rents up. Okay. Now, what you could do is put a short-term loan on this one deal. Get a local loan on this. Say you're going to move into it, then don't move into it. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Change your mind anytime. It's free to change
Hey
your mind.
man, we were going to live in it, man. Wells Fargo, we were. And then this guy came to me and said, we want to rent it from you. And when the guy said we want to rent it from you, I said, honey, you want to rent it to him? And honey said, yeah, we should rent it to him. And so we rented it to him. And he's a good guy too. He's a chiropractor in town. And we're gonna rent it to him. It's cool to rent shit, right? And people want to rent stuff. So, dude, the rent, you might be able to change the rent $800. Let's see what the rent is on this place. See, so I started looking at these deals and I'm like, God dang, how many deals are like this around the country? How many do you think, Ron?
Thousands, tens of thousands. Every neighborhood has them.
Yeah. See, right now, this deal does $15,000 a year in NOI. The debt would be $5,000. So if I increase the rents now, watch what happens now. Let's say I increase the rents $9,600. Now the rent is $15,000 a year. What did I put down?
15.
Oh yeah, I got all my money back in the first year,
Mm-hmm.
and I own an asset.
Yep.
Okay. Now watch what I'm gonna do now. 345. Now it's worth 500,000 because of the rent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back to the bank and I'm gonna say I want a 75% loan, not a 5% loan.
Mhm.
That's how I'm gonna get to 10 of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start replacing the old one with a commercial loan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take out 75%.
400.
I'm gonna get $375,000 worth of debt on the deal. It's worth $500. I'm gonna get $375. What did I owe? I owed $330. I'm gonna put $40,000 in my pocket. I'm bringing everything back down to numbers that you guys can feel. I'm gonna put $40,000 of cash in my pocket. I'm going to put a commercial loan on it, then I'm going to go buy another house with 5% down. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to replace my home with a commercial piece of property. Okay, I'm going to buy it as my home. I'm going to flip it to a commercial, refinance it, go buy another house. So this is going to take a second to build this out until you know what you're doing, and then you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to start telling this story to my brother, my uncle, my nephew. The more that you understand the market and the more you got a bigger plan about doing this, the more people are going to want to invest with you. You guys in Scottsdale, Arizona, that think, oh my God, everybody from California is coming over here. You know why they're coming over there? Because you guys are stupid. You're looking in the rear view. I didn't mean to say that. I'm just telling you. When you look back, you will say this about yourself in 30 years. You're going to be like, I was stupid. So I'm going to call you stupid before you do it 30 years from now, and it's too late. Okay?
I'm from Scottsdale. I was stupid.
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 You know who's buying Arizona right now? California, not Arizona. Oh my God, it's overpriced now. I remember when. Me and you, we were looking at deals over there. I remember when. You talked us out of that whole portfolio.
I take full responsibility.
Yeah, okay. So there's a deal in Scottsdale right now. We've been there, what, 5 times now?
Yeah,
Well, the
last
thing that
year.
the reason
Last year.
people sell their home in California and they pull out 500, 600 grand of equity and they go pay cash for something.
Yeah. Look, real estate is a forward-looking thing, not a backwards-looking thing. So you're not going to look. You're never going to buy real estate looking in a rearview mirror. You got to look forward. Please, folks, do yourself a favor today. Don't do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Grab this course. GrantCardone.com/invest. GrantCardone.com/. Get the course. What's the biggest risk you have here? $1,000. The biggest thing that happens here is you got $1,000. The only reason you won't do this is you don't trust yourself. I know you trust me. You're spending 2 hours with me. You trust me. I've done this. I've done it almost $3 billion worth. Okay? So I know you trust me. It's you. You don't trust you. So if you don't trust you enough right now, trust me. And what I'll do to make sure you use the program is I'll do 2 things for you. 1, every Monday we'll get on a call. Okay? Number 2, you got a money back guarantee. For any reason, you just say, hey, man, it's not whatever. Good. I'll send you money back. It's not a problem. I'll always have the money to send it back to you. Okay? But there's a deal in Scottsdale right now. I can't go buy this deal. I got my hands full with buying deals right now. Okay? There's a deal in Scottsdale right now. I got it on the screen. $360,000. It's got a nice swimming pool.
This is a house.
I think this is single family. Yeah, I want to show you how to go back from the 4 units back to a single family and do an Airbnb on this deal. So I'm going to show you a different angle on this deal because Scottsdale will be a great Airbnb market.
Yep.
Okay? I don't think that Bakersfield would be an Airbnb. Do you, Ryan?
I don't. I think Scottsdale would be.
Yeah. So you're going to go buy this as a home. You're going to put 3% down. 3% is about really $11,000. $11,000. You're going to finance $349,000. The note on that's going to be 349 times 4%. It's going to be $14,000 a year on your debt. And you're going to see if you can get $1,000 a night for it. Half the year. $180,000.
Whoa.
Think it'll rent for $1,000 a night? It's a whole house, bro. It's 4 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Where can you get 4 bedrooms in Scottsdale?
Let's just say
Not
it
the
was.
Marriott.
Let's just say it was 500 a night,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the math. Then the math still.
Let's do $1,000 a night. Let's do this math because I think it brings $1,000 a night. I know what I pay. I've done a lot. I've rented a lot of houses.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't we, Annie?
Oh, yeah.
I've never paid $1,000 a night.
Never.
Pay $1,000 an hour. So, you know, I mean, we've had some nice houses. So, like, I don't know. I've been in Scottsdale a bunch of times. I've never paid to get a Hyatt hotel. It's going to cost $300 or $400 a night in a Scottsdale Hyatt for 1 bedroom. So if I want to bring Sabrina, Scarlett, Elena, the nanny, I got, and one of you guys are going to be there with me. If we're going to bring a tribe, I need bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be cheaper than being at the Marriott, and I got my own swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So let's just say you could do that. Let's say you trick out the house and you make it really cool. Put in some palm trees. put in $25,000 worth of palm trees in that backyard. So I'm gonna spend another 25 right here on rehab. I spent 25 on rehab before. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna make $136,000. What did I put down?
11. Is it
11 grand?
11 grand. Yep.
Okay, so $11,000, 136.
Yeah, that's 164, right, Grant? 180 minus 14, or did you minus 25?
I just made 12 times on my money in year one.
Yep.
12x. Okay, now you're like, oh man, the question is, can I get $1,000 180 times a year? If you make the place trick, you can. If it looks like a garbage dump, you gotta lower the price. So maybe what you're better off doing is getting a little more money. Like, figure this out, man. Could you borrow 25 grand to put in some palm trees, to put in some chase lounges, to put on new paint, to increase the interior? Maybe you got to spend $50,000 or $60,000 on the interior. You go get a damn loan, just like you did to go to college. That didn't do dick for you, okay? And then you fix up this place. You borrow $50,000 or $60,000. Look what you're going to make the first year. $10,000 a month. You guys got to quit saying no and say, how could I? How could it work? What would I have to do? Okay? On this deal, if I got creative enough with paint, colors, there's HGTV every single day. Somebody flipping a home on HG. Oh, she's so smart. Elena and Scarlett watched 50 of these shows. Oh my God, you see what they did with the patio? I'm like, quit watching that shit and do it to our property. Okay, here's a deal. I'm going to show you a different way to do the deal. I'll show you guys so many ways to slice this deal. We've done this so many different ways. There's so many cool ways to do this. The first thing you got to do is you got to get committed. You got to say, man, do you even want to do the deal? Okay? Like, rather than the excuses, don't be so committed to your excuses. Here's a deal, a commercial deal. I think this is San Antonio.
Yep.
I found this deal in San Antonio. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is. San Antonio, Texas. Look, I wanted to pick out a variety of markets because they're all hot. They're on fire. Oh, let's see. And by the way, I want to congratulate everybody that took advantage of coming coming to Miami. We're going to give you that seat.
Brandon
Rife, 3-day
Rife,
summit.
Brandon Rife, Malu, Carlos, Leonardo, Liam, Amina.
In July, we're going to do this in July at the Turnberry. So come hang out with us. If you can't be there, we'll Zoom it to you. We're gonna video to them, right? If they don't want to travel.
If they don't, yeah, we can do virtual if they don't want to travel.
Okay. And so, and I don't know how many spots you have for that, Jared, what we're limited to. So I think it was the first 250.
Yeah.
And how much room you got?
We don't have a whole lot more room.
Well, you got to tell people. Like, guys, I'm telling you, like, we want you to come here. I want you to be here. It's going to be first come, first serve on the hats. First come, first serve on the helicopter. First come, first serve on the location. So if you know you want to be there, you need to make sure you tell somebody, dude, I want to be there in person. Take advantage of this now to do that. GrantCardone.com/invest, because I don't want so many people to want this, and I'm like, I can't. How much room?
We got like 32 seats left.
Okay. That's what I need to know. Okay, that's what the people need to know too, man. Don't hold me out in purgatory. I don't mind if I'm in hell. I just want to know how long I got to be there. It's like all the deals I do. I'm like, okay, how long do I got to wait before I know I'm in the deal? I don't mind going fishing and getting sunburned. I just want to know, we gonna catch something? Because I don't want to be out here drinking beer and I ain't gonna catch anything. Okay. So this is a commercial deal. This deal is going to require you to get what's called a JV, because you're not going to have the money to do the deal. JV stands for what, Ryan?
Joint venture.
Joint venture. These new bottles are so hard to suck on.
Man,
it's impossible. It's a terrible product.
Yeah, it looks difficult.
How many did we buy?
5,000.
40.
Yeah, the straw is like, I don't know what it is, but I mean, if you get good at sucking this, you're going to be good at something. Okay. But it's tough. Okay. So you're going to need
sucking cash flow off these real estate deals.
I mean, it's hard, right?
You haven't gone through any of it.
I thought I was.
There's got to be a vent in there that's not open.
I thought I was.
Hey, you want me to fix it for you? Pass it over. I'll fix it for you.
It's gone
There's
down.
Oh,
a
maybe
vent.
it's the top
There's
things.
a
Maybe
vent.
the top things.
Yeah, there's a vent.
Maybe the top things.
Look.
See, you got to know, right? You got to know what you're doing. Otherwise, the simplest thing can be a problem. Watch, he's going to stab that. Did it go in? Yeah, I bet that's the problem. See, now watch.
There you go.
See, I don't know how to drink water, but I know how to buy real estate. Okay, so look, this deal right here, this deal I'm looking at right now, this deal you will not be able to do with 3 or 4 or 5% down. I told you guys I'd show you how to do deals with no money down. See, Annie, you should have fixed that for me. No money down, a little money down, and I'm going to show you a bigger deal, but I'm going to show you how to get this money from the investors. I need you to have 20 grand. Oh, good job. I need you to have 20 grand or nothing at all, frankly. I need you to believe in this deal. If you don't believe in the deal, don't raise money for a deal. But if you know the deal, what at first? Number 1, location. Number 2, income. Number 3, the gap. What's that?
1,700 still.
You guys on Instagram, man, y'all need to take advantage of this. I don't know why you need all the math here, man.
Yeah, pinned. It's in.
You guys on LinkedIn, man,
It's pinned on invest. GrantCardone.com
Yeah.
/invest.
take advantage of this, guys. This ends today. I'm not going to do this again. Like, this is going to be over. Last time we did this, 2,000 people bought this program.
Yeah.
The first time I ever talked about this, 2,000 people. I cannot have 2,000 people at this facility. We don't have the room for it. So, like, don't like let my team know, hey, I want to come and I want to be there. Or that's cool. Stay where you are and I'll push it to you. If you guys are outside the country, everything I'm sharing with you right now exists in London, Sydney, South Korea. I don't care. I've been every place I've ever been. I was in 19 countries in 2019. It's a real deal everywhere. Income is income anywhere in the world. Okay, so this deal would be $950. I put 200 grand down. The NOI on this deal, I've already researched the NOI. The NOI on this deal on 10 units is $30,000 a year. Oops. Okay, the debt on this deal, $750 is about 30 grand. Can't be right, huh? The debt on that at $750. Let me see. Okay, let me go through my deal here. I got something wrong here.
How many units is it?
It's 10.
10 units.
Located in prime Tobin Hill. If you guys don't know where Tobin Hill is, I do. Price per unit is $118. It's a cap rate of 4.62. Now some of you will be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe San Antonio under a 5 cap." I told you guys a year ago.
Austin's a 3.
Some of it's busting through the 3.
290.
Okay, so there's 8 units on this property.
What's the rent? 1,000.
Unit mix is 8 units, $900 a month. Okay, so I got 8 units at 900. This is the exact deal I'm telling you guys about. Times 12. So I'll just do the whole math. $86,400. I give you the math in the course. I'll give you the math. I'm going to give you some simple math right here. Let's say it does $46,400 in NOI. I think it does more than that. I think it does closer to $55,000. But I'm going to do a 50-50 debt. 50-50 means income, 50% expenses, 50% NOI. So I have a $46,400 NOI, and my debt's going to be.
23,000.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's half.
No. My debt's going to be. If I pay the full price on the property, which I don't mind paying full price, $30,000 is the debt. Okay, $16,000 is the income. The cash flow, what we call free cash flow, free to distribute to our investors. Okay, what do we put down? 200 grand. What do I tell my investors? You got an 8% return on your money. 8. Where can you get that, Jacko? You can't get it anywhere. Okay, so you tell your investors, I got an 8% return. What's the bank paying you? Oh, excuse me, the bank is paying you 0.015%. They're paying you 1/8, an 8 ball, 1/8
Of 1%.
of 1%. 1/8 of 1%. Okay, I'm going to pay you 8% in 1 year. Okay, right here, 8 years, 8 years to get 1%. No, I'm sorry, not 8
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
No, 12 years. 12 years to get 1%. Over here, 8% in 1 year. You got to know how to tell the story. I'm going to show you how to raise money from your investors. 1 divided by 8 equals times 8. Yeah, this is 1/8. This is 0.12%.
Wow.
Times 8 years gets you 1%.
It's a slow game.
Oh, compound interest. Compound interest is one of the great miracles of the universe. Dude, compound interest at 0.18% is never going to compound anything. You need 8% to start compounding. When money compounds at 10% a year, and I'm going to show you how to get to 10 here very quickly. When money compounds at 10% a year, it doubles every 7 years. You got to learn about money, man. Every 10 years, if I can get a 10% return on my money every year, every 7 years my money doubles. So if I have $100 million at work, and I know I can get a 10% return, you don't need to be greedy, man. Like you guys are looking for Bitcoin money. I'm not looking for Bitcoin money. I mean, that'd be cool. It'd be cool if it happened.
Right.
Sure be cooler if it did.
It'd be sure be cool if it did, but the problem is I ain't gonna be invested in it because I'm fucking terrified of it because I don't understand it, so I'll never take a bet big enough. So what am I gonna buy? $1,000 worth? This real estate stuff, I can take and put all my money into it. So when I talk about 100 million, or how about 300 million, or how about 500 million, I'm like, I'm gonna take the whole 500 million. I'm gonna double it every 7 years. Okay, 500 million becomes $1 billion, and I kill $1 billion. But I can't do that if I'm gonna put a little bit over here and a little bit over there and a little bit over there. I got a plan. You need a plan for financial freedom. And the best plan that I know in the world is the one you're already gonna do anyway, which is you gotta live someplace. You do not have to buy Bitcoin. You do not have to buy Ethereum. You do not have to buy the stocks. You have to buy a place to live in. So if you're going to buy a place to live in, why not buy it, live in it, flip it, buy it, live in it, flip it, buy it, live it, upgrade it, buy it, live in it, refinance it, switch it over to commercial, rent it, and keep playing this game of Monopoly, man. This is a Monopoly game. Okay, I'm gonna own Park Place, then I'm gonna own Boardwalk, then I'm gonna grab the purple shit, then I'm gonna grab the red stuff, then I'm gonna grab the green stuff. I'm gonna leave the yellow shit for somebody. No, the yellow shit's Atlantic. But I'm gonna leave some of that purple stuff.
Was that the railroads?
But no,
Was it the
the railroads. I'm buying the railroad shit. Okay,
You can buy
you
transport.
understand? But it's a game, and why do people play Monopoly? Okay. By the way, in Monopoly, it is okay by the rules for the bank to refurbish everybody on the table. In the rules of Monopoly, it says in the rules, at any time that the players decide that they want to infuse the board with more money, they can. That is the economy we live in, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what the U.S. government
Sounds like
does.
the USA.
Okay, so watch. When you can get money to double every 10 years, 10%, if you can hit it 10% every 7 years. If you can hit 20%, it's 3.5 years. Okay, if you can hit 33%, and we do that on a lot of our deals, it's every year to 2 years, you're doubling money.
If you divide the interest rate
Yeah.
by 72,
Yeah,
that gives you that.
yeah. So if I
That
take
gives you the
33,
amount of time you need to double it.
divide it, it's called the rule of 72. Okay, so I need 4.5 years if it's 3.5 if it's
30%.
30%. Okay, now you're like 30%. How can I do 30%? I showed you deals today that did 67%. Now watch. Back to the deal that I'm looking at right now. These are 8 units. You're going to JV the deal. Okay. The rents on this property are $900. These rents should be $1,400 a month right now. How do I know that? Because I know this market. Okay, we're in the market looking. So let's say I get $500 a unit times 8 units. Maybe I need to paint it. I mean, I think this place looks pretty cool myself. Like, I like it. I like the little fence out in front. I put the little bike station.
Would
know,
you
our little
put-
bike
would you
station?
put a
The fake
plumeria?
bikes.
A plumeria tree?
No, I wouldn't put plumeria here.
What about a ficus?
No, I'd put a big taco.
Okay.
A who?
Big giant taco plant.
That's real?
Yucca.
Oh, nice.
A yucca, yucca. That's $4,000 a month right there. Times 12. It's $48,000 new income. This is a 5.6 cap right here. That's what it says on the report. It's trading for a 5.6. Okay, divided by 0.056. I just increased the value of the property, $857,000.
Bang! Double up.
That's the new value. Okay, this is my daughter. Hey, buddy. Oh, that is awesome, man. Did you learn something cool?
Yeah, like I can totally accurately like tell people like things, and like I can do like hypnosis, and I can like go like what half the tone.
Yeah. What is my tone? What is my tone level?
Serenity being for sure.
Serenity of beingness. Wow, that's way up there. I love you.
Wow, she's so smart.
Did you get some good news today? Hey. Okay. So $857,000 of new value. What was I earning on the property? On the property, 16,000
originally.
Yeah. What did I pay for
$850.
it? Okay.
$950.
It was
$950. Okay. So I go back to the bank.
Cash flow is $11,000.
I go back to the bank. I go back to my partners and say, guys, I'm going back to the bank. I increased the value of the property by $850,000. Real estate is the single best way to improve your net worth. Cashing. Nobody values your cash or cars. Okay? So watch. Now the property's worth $1,800,000. Why is it worth $1,800,000? Not because somebody was willing to pay that, it's because the income of the property, the income is the bones of the value of the property. It's not a comp to a neighborhood. This is where people get confused. They're like, well, what's the comparables in the neighborhood? Dude, that's not how commercial real estate works. Commercial real estate works based on the income. Is the infrastructure of this property is not what's the refrigerator inside of it. It is, or the floors or the walls. It is the income of the property. It's substantiated. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go back to my partners. I'm going to say, guys, I'm buying you guys out. Okay? I'm going to buy you guys out. I delivered your 10% or 12% or whatever you wanted, 8%, whatever the number was. I'm going to buy them out. I'm going to go back to the debt market. How much do I owe in this deal? I owe $600, $645.
You put 200 down.
I'm going to get a new loan, 75%. I'm going to get a loan for $1,350,000. Again, I explained all this. 16 hours, grantcardone.com/invest. Look at it at your own leisure. You own this for a lifetime, by the way. You own it for a lifetime, okay? It's 16 hours of video, 3 days with me, and for the next 6 weeks, we're going to do a private exclusive call every Monday at noon. We'll give you a link, and then we'll probably throw in some other nights for those of you who want to do things at night. So this is going to be, I'm going to have $450,000 in cash left over. Watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to call my investors. Go ahead.
So it's 1.8.
Yeah,
So
right.
then 1.3. So you owed 650.
Yeah, you're right. 1.8.
So it's actually 700.
Yeah, you're right. Watch what happens. You're right, Ryan. 1.8 million is the value. I'm sorry, I confused this number. I'm going to get a loan for what? How much, Ryan? Did I say
1.35.
1.350. Thanks, Ryan. I owe. Remember my debt. My debt is 645, I think. Right?
Yep.
That's my debt. So that's the first loan. I got to pay that off. Okay. I'm going to have $705,000 left over. I owe the investors $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay them back their $200,000. Here, guys. Here's your money back. We're clean. We're good. Okay. I have $500,000 left over for who is that?
Me!
My favorite person. I'm going to collect my $500K. That's a non-taxable event. Actually, this would be a taxable event.
If you sold it, yeah.
This would be, no, if I refinanced it. This would be a taxable event on my $500 because I didn't put money in the deal. Okay, this is called a JV. It's income.
The syndicated JV.
Syndicated JV. This would not be a non-taxable event. This portion of it wouldn't. This would. Now your partner's going to be like, hey, bro, well, wait a minute, why are you kicking me out? We don't kick people out here. We keep up. Our investors stay with us. Okay, so we don't We give money back and then keep everybody in the deal. But you could find investors that are like, dude, I want 8%. And I want you to guarantee me 8% for the next 2 or 3 years, and I don't care what you do with the deal. There's plenty of people out there today that want 8%. They don't care about the future of this property. If you could set up that JV structure, you would pick up $500,000 in new income. You would now own a $1.8 million worth of asset. You put no money into it, and this thing would still make you, what's our new cash flow now?
It was
1,500.
48 plus 11, right? So 56 per year.
Yeah. So 1350 times 0.04, $54,000. What was our NOI on this deal? It was
30,000.
oh god.
Go back one more.
It was shit. I'm lost.
It was 46,000.
Yeah, no, it's 48,000
48,000.
plus it was the 5%, the 5% on the 950, 45,000, so 45,000. It was, you still got $70,000. You're going to get $6,000 a month plus a check for $500,000. Plus you own a $1.8 million asset. You have no money in, your partners are gone.
Infinite return.
Infinite into the world of how do you own all this real estate? Because it's real. It's real estate, okay? This is not like you guys 99.99% of you are not going to go start a SPAC. You're not going to go to Goldman Sachs and sell them some tech company.
Right.
And even if you know how to do that shit, be doing this on the side. This is happening in your backyard right now. I'm showing you deals from all over the country right now. So let me show you the next deal, okay? I'm going to show you. Let me just drop in rather than showing you another deal. I'm going to show you a deal in a second that we just did off market and how to do an off market deal. But I want to first show you my unbreakable rules. Hope you guys are enjoying this today, by the way. I know I'm enjoying being with you. How long have we been on?
3
You guys want to go a
2
little
hours
longer?
and
Y'all,
54
what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to go a little longer, or you want to call it a day?
No,
I said 2 hours. I'm at 3 hours right now.
No, dude. I think people want to take as much as they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, but you got to get the people to tell me whether they want to keep doing it. You want to bring some calls in, talk to some people. You want to bring them, tell, hey, what's up? What's up? Where you at? Where you at?
I got a deal.
Hey, let me just tell you something, okay? If you have a deal that's 200 units or bigger and you can't do it by yourself, and it meets the criteria, how many did we do last time? And it meets the criteria. How many do we have on? Yeah, it meets the criteria of the things on like the location's great. It's already got occupancy. You think there's a gap? Those 3 things I shared with you, dude. I'll buy the deal with you. Let's come up with a deal. Let's do a deal. I'll do a deal with you. I'd love to do a deal with you.
For sure.
I don't care how big the deal is, by the way. We're doing a deal right now for $235 million. One deal. While I do that deal, I'm going to do another deal up the street for, what's that deal up the street? What's the deal up the street?
Which one?
The
Oh, 639.
600, no, but how much money?
Oh, 265.
It's 265, so I'm going to do a 265 and a 235
And we
this
could add
quarter.
And we could add some.
That's a
35.
$500 million. Well, man, why are you making such a commitment? Because I know that $500 million is going to be $1 billion. Like, I know for sure. I don't have any doubt. You're the one with doubt, not me. If you don't have the knowingness, you are going to have the doubt. Like my daughter just called me. Oh my God, Papa, I just finished. Now I know how to tell who people are. I know who to trust. I know what their tone level is because she got educated. Right? Same thing about real estate. I know that you know real estate is a good thing. That's why so many people signed up for this. You know in your heart of hearts that real estate will be there 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Do you believe the rents are going to go up where you live? Yes or no? Do you believe that there's pockets in your market that are better than other pockets that will live on into the future better? Yes. Okay. Now we just got to figure out, okay, how do you find the deal, call the deal, buy the deal, negotiate the deal, the PSA on the deal, the debt on the deal. We got to get your certainty up so that you can make the right pitch to the group. Okay, so here's my unbreakable rules when I'm buying a piece of real estate. You want to write these down. We'll go ahead and spend a few more minutes. By the way, those of you who stay till the end, we're going to give away like 10 people in the helicopter.
And by the way, another thing that we're going to do in addition to the course, I just saw some people asking about this. When you invest in the program today, grantcardone.com/invest, we're going to take this whole program here today. This was going to be live. We weren't ever going to play this again. But we're going to take it and we're going to give you this so you can go back through and you can watch this whole thing again.
Nice.
That's a great thing. So we're going to do that. This will not be for sale any other place. You're not going to be able to buy this tonight. You don't pull the trigger today. Don't call my office tomorrow. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and punish you a little bit. Same thing with real estate. You get punished in real estate. You wait. That deal yesterday. I showed you the deal yesterday.
Gone.
Where was that?
That was in Birmingham.
Birmingham, Alabama, but off the list today. It's not available today. Like, this happens every day. It's happening in your city right now. Post, by the way, in the chat, you guys can see it, I can't see it, but what city you're in right now, because I want to shout out some of these cities that are like smoking hot, on fire.
Boise, Barrington.
Our portfolio
Fort
is
Lauderdale.
probably up 20%. Because rents are starting to do this. I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 years, rents are going to stay flat. When COVID went away, nobody predicted the government was going to infuse people with money. Mm-hmm. Fort Lauderdale, we thought Fort Lauderdale was overbuilt. They're having trouble finding places for people to live in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Like, this is happening over the last 6 months. We didn't know people were going to leave New York, Chicago, the Northeast, and come down to Fort Lauderdale and start living here.
Both homes that I tried to buy in the last, you know my whole deal.
Yeah,
like in the last 45 days, both the homes, the people that were leaving those homes were terrified that their house was in play because they couldn't find a place to live.
They can't find a place to go to. Inventory shortages. So what happens? I can't move any place, so what do? I'm going to go rent. So now the guys that own the real estate, that's why I'm such in a hurry to try to get more real estate. I'm in a hurry for you to this weekend, today, when this is over today, you need to get in your car and start driving around looking for stuff to buy. Okay? Then get busy on this course. The course tonight, when you start getting on it, rather than going to Netflix and watch it start up or your new hot show, man, dig into this material and let me get in your head about how big of an opportunity this real estate thing is. Okay? Start with these unbreakable rules. Number one, I mentioned it earlier, never compromise location ever. I've done it before. I went for the lower price. If I looked over my entire career, had I never compromised location, I would be worth 3 times more than I am today. Do not compromise the location. Do not listen to these amateurs. They're like, oh, buy the lowest, buy the worst house, buy the ugly duckling on the good street. Dude, buy the best damn place in any given block. I'll bring you to a
Because
street.
Alice Walton's going to come in and tell you every penny.
Alice, when Roman Abramovich bought next door to me at 1401 Oriole, he did not want the house. He wanted 3 houses. He did not come there to buy. He never buys one of anything. The guy, these people are so wealthy, and that's the dollars you're going after today. Go after the best shit because the people that have the money will pay the premium. That's why Malibu Beach, you go to Carbon Beach, man, you buy the heart of it, the vein of that beach, dude, you'll always command the money. Otherwise, you got to explain your location. If you got to explain your location, your price goes down, the interest goes down, and the number of buyers go down. When the brokers are basically, they're fairly lazy people. Okay, so there's a lot of brokers. So when the broker's like, oh my God, this is irreplaceable. Like when you got that broker and every broker saying the same thing, then you get your price premium. Okay, let me just show you this one house, 64. See the Brayburn house. Okay, the Brayburn house I showed you earlier. It was the wrong block. Second deal I did, it was the wrong location. It was 2 houses from a bad street. Had I moved down, okay, but I didn't understand, I didn't know yet. Had I moved 2 blocks, I needed to be a full 2 blocks away, about 7 houses. if I bring you down this street, let me just go to Zillow right now and show you what I'm talking about. If I go down this street, the prices just start going up almost 30%. Just by moving back toward let me see if I can show you this. Brayburn. All this information's available. I mean, see these homes started getting big and sassy. I mean, they go to like 1.2. What am I looking at here? 1.4. I'm on LoopNet or Zillow right now, but you could be on LoopNet. You could be. See, watch this neighborhood. It's going to get crazy.
Oh, go back.
See, look at how much nicer that home is. Okay. See, the neighborhood starts getting crazy. See, watch. I'm going back down toward my house. Now I'm gonna go the other way. See, this is the neighborhood I told you about. Okay, watch. Look at these homes. Now watch. They just stacked. See the difference in the neighborhood? So the point I'm making is people are investing bigger money in that vein part of the neighborhood. So number one, never compromise location. Number two, the 1% rule. The 1% rule is such a simple rule. Now, the 1% rule can be violated. It's just a rule. It's not an absolute. Okay, the 1% rule basically suggests if the rents are $1,000, you can pay $100,000 for the unit. If you see a deal where the unit's $100,000 and the rents are $1,000, that's 1%. 1,000 is 1% of $100,000. If you can find something that hits the 1% rule, don't buy it. Buy as many as you can because you probably can't even find this deal today. These are impossible to find today. So like if the rents on my property are $1,800 and I could find something that sells for $180,000, I'm not buying one of them. I'm buying the entire neighborhood. So if you can buy something that's a half of 1%, you're probably still pretty good. Would you agree, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's called the 1% rule. For every $1,000, you can spend $100,000 on the unit. Okay, for every $2,000, $3,000, for $3,000 rent, I could spend $300,000, and I'm going to get rich. 3 units. The number of units allow you to scale. 2 times 1,000 is not 20 times 1,000. The bigger the units. When the units get bigger, everything gets easier. The number of units, 200 is better than 20, 20 is better than 2, and the bigger the units, the bigger you can scale, the less you have to manage. Number 4, always use debt. These are unbreakable rules. When you abide by these rules, you cannot get broken. Always use debt, never pay your stuff off. You're like, man, that's completely contrary to what I've been taught. Okay? The wealthiest companies in the world use debt. They all use debt. The wealthiest people in the world use debt. They all use debt. You cannot show me a billionaire that doesn't have a bunch of debt. They all have debt. Number 5, look for barriers to entry. Barriers to entry is I can't get into that market, okay? Golden Beach, the house I just bought. I'll show you. There's a lot of definitions of barrier to entry. I'll show you one right here. Let's see if I can do this another way. There's a lot of little different angles on barriers to entry. I'm going to show you one right here by going to the map. I use maps all the time. You probably do too, but I just use them for real estate, okay? So this is Golden Beach. First of all, the entire neighborhood of Golden Beach in Florida has a barrier to entry. Nobody's seen it because everybody's had their attention on South Beach for the last 20 years in Miami. So this market, first of all, there's only maybe, 30 homes on the ocean? There's no oceanfront property anywhere in Miami, is there?
No.
Where do you go for
There's one area in
North Beach.
Surfside, in North Miami Beach, right by our office.
Those little narrow.
There's like 4 homes or 5 homes on the sand.
So
there.
the first barrier to entry here is I got beachfront.
If you want to live on the sand in Miami, Golden Beach is the place.
Okay. So this is a barrier to entry. Okay. I just bought this house. You guys know how I feel about single family homes. I don't feel great about them, but let me see. Which one of these do I want to hit to get?
You want to go to the big boy?
No, I want to show this. I'm going to show this little hut. Oh, you guys are on a different map. You didn't sign me in, so I can't get to this little. See this little hut right here? This little.
There it
You
is.
can't see it. It's underneath the trees, right? But how can I spin this thing around, guys?
You gotta go 3D.
Yeah, I want to go 3D, but
There you go.
there you go.
Little 3D
Yeah,
action.
watch this. See this little house right here? First of all, you see this house right here on this guy's. Where's my house? There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. See this little house right here? Now, when you guys see that I paid $24 million for this house, actually I didn't pay $24 million for the house. I paid $24 million for that house.
That little house.
That's called the barrier to entry. That house can never be rebuilt. You can't build it. I don't care. Carl Slim lives down the street from me. So a couple things I got going. I got a guy four houses over that's a billionaire. I got the guy next door to me that's almost a billionaire, Israeli billionaire. And I got Carlos Slim 6 houses from me. I am the only one. The guy next door to me, he's in commercial real estate. This guy with this big freaking mausoleum, they tore down their grandfathered surf shack because he didn't like it.
I bet they're regretting
I'm
that.
like, well, bro, what are you doing? I didn't like looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, bro, that house. Like, you come to my house, you're going to love my house. You're going to love the pool. You're going to love the palm trees. But everybody, when they get in that surf shack, they're like, that thing is sick. Can't build it. It's on the sand. You could never build it again. These are called barriers to entry. This house right here, this little narrow house that they're building right here, this house right here, it is a third of my lot size. It'll be $35 million. Okay, these are barriers to entry, right? So most of these houses are not trading. This lot right here is $24 million. The lot's more than the house. If everybody's like, oh yeah, Tommy killed you. Tommy didn't kill me, bro. Guarantee I'm gonna make $10 million here. That exists in your market. What are you looking for? Never compromise location. Look for the 1% rule. Units allow you to scale. If you're not buying, by the way, income property, like this house I bought is not income property, there's no 1% rule. But there is the Airbnb game. And there is the new game that did not exist when the 1% rule came up, is the Airbnb game. What do you think Golden Beach would rent for if I rented the 605?
Your house?
Yeah.
I mean, there's one. Look at the one that's
20
for,
grand
look
a
at the one that's
A
for
beast.
rent right here.
Okay.
What's it
This one right here is $130,000 a month
Yeah.
for 7,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms.
7,000. I'm 14,000 square feet. So let's say I get $20,000 a night.
Yeah.
We pay 20 grand a night for a house before, right?
Yep.
Amy?
Yep.
So let's say I get 20 grand a night. Let's say I only get that for 100 nights a year.
$2 million.
I know these are crazy numbers. You're like, oh, we'll do it. Okay. What, Johnny? Oh, yeah, you showing the house, Johnny? Is that the shack, Johnny? Is that me talking about the shack? The shack's stupid, okay? I'm going to make a lot of money in that shack. I'm going to raise $1 billion in that shack, okay? So, because when people feel something, they pay whatever. Once you feel something, man, that's why you want to look for barriers to entry. Look for things, either the block, the neighborhood, the police. Like, they have their own private police here. Miami does not have a good, safe kind of reputation, right? So Golden Beach, but I'm telling you, you go 35 miles an hour in Golden Beach, you're going to get a ticket. You go 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, they're going to freaking bust you out.
Unless you live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in the neighborhood, they're like, yeah,
Hey,
you go,
what's
man.
up?
Yeah,
How
shit,
are
what's
you,
up,
man?
man?
Good to see you.
Gee, hey, great.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? I mean, we had 3 policemen in my house. Like, it is private police, right? This is going to become an extremely wealthy neighborhood. This will be billionaire row for sure. Look for the barriers to entry. Barriers to entry are like the shack, can't build, takes 3 to 4 years to build there. That's a barrier to entry. Also, the cost to buy there is a barrier to entry. So you want to look at choking people out. That's actually good for a neighborhood. Okay, number 6, You want to buy below replacement cost. People think that I paid too much for the house. I'm like, you can't build it for $24 million. And if you did, it wouldn't be up until 2025. So replacement cost for rich people is not money. It is what? Time. I want it right now, okay? Number 7, underwrite to worst case scenario. How do I get out of the deal? What if me and Elena don't want to live in Ocean Beach? What if we change our mind? Okay, if I change my mind, I'm going to rent it 100 days of the year for 20 grand a night. I'm going to earn $2 million a night, a year. Okay, what's my note going to be? If I finance $24 million, if I could get a loan, $24 million.
Is that $2 million or $20 million?
$2 million for the income.
Got it.
Times 0.04%. My loan would be, how much can I get a loan from the bank? My bank.
Three and a quarter, 3%.
My loan's going to be $6 million a year. Okay. I paid cash for the house, but I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to, I could earn $14 million a year renting a house out. Is that right? No, $1.4 million a year. No, I can't earn $20,000 a night times 100 nights.
It's $2 million, right?
Yes, $2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah, $2 million. Okay, $2 million. So, I paid 24.
Mm-hmm.
2 million divided by 24 is an 8% return on my money. So worst case is I get 8% on my money and don't use any debt on it. I pay cash for it, but I could go to my bank and say, hey, I want to borrow money. I want my 20 million back.
Mm-hmm.
Times,
What is it, 50, 55, 60 grand?
yeah,
a
it's
month?
600 grand a year.
Mhm.
Not 600 grand a year is the debt. The debt's so cheap today, it's stupid, right? I would make $1.4 million a year. I mean, obviously I gotta fix, pay for stuff, they're gonna mess stuff up, but most of that comes out of security deposits. They're freaking enormous. I'd make $1.4 million. I would now have no money in the deal. I'd make another 100 grand a month net and rent it out to other people and sit and wait. Okay, taxes are paid, interest is paid, maintenance is paid, brokers are paid. I'm just saying, look for your worst case scenario. Maybe your worst case scenario is the rents get flat. Maybe the rents go down. Like, I always look for worst case scenario. On multifamily units, and again, this is all in the course, we look for a break even as worst case scenario. Okay, extremely conservative. We look for, what is my break even on this deal if I go from 95% occupancy down to, that's why I only used 100 days of rentals. I didn't use 360 days of rentals. What if I rented it for 360? This is what people do. I'm going to rent it every day of the year for $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, probably not.
Right.
Okay, there's probably going to be somebody that doesn't show up.
Right.
But if you did that,
$6 million.
365 times $20,000 a
Actually,
night.
almost 8.
That's $7.3 million a year.
Yep.
But you're not going to rent it every night of the year because you got to fix it, turn it, fix it, clean it, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Okay, you get the point. Maybe the world comes to an end tomorrow and people will quit doing Airbnb. North Korea goes nuclear. Fucking world comes to an end. And boom. Number 8. Look, if it don't cash flow, say no. He, she, it. If they don't cash flow, say you don't go. Hey, can we go over here? Does it cash flow? Say no. If they say no, say no. Okay? If the deal don't cash flow, just say no. Okay? Number 9. Price is the least important metric in buying a piece of real estate. Quit hammering your seller over $5,000. You guys are playing games over nothing. You got to fix the toilets. Oh my God, something came up in the inspections. You have termites and you need to pay for it. Bro, you're going to have termites too. If it's wood, it's going to have termites, okay? Number 10, know your exit. Know how you're going to get out. How are you going to sell? What is your story? Why would somebody buy it from you if you don't break these unbreakable rules? We never break them here. I know when I buy who I'm selling to. I used to believe that the money was made when you bought it. The money is made when you bought it only if you know how you're going to sell it, okay? Number 11, refi and never sell. I wish I'd have known this $800 million ago, okay? Okay? You guys don't have to stay, by the way, man. I know this has got to be exhausting for y'all to watch. Really, don't worry about it.
I'm learning so much.
Oh, you are? And so don't break those rules, okay? You got them? You guys got the rules? You got the last one? Refi that bad boy and never sell it. You know what I'm talking about?
Keep the debt.
Okay? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Remember that deal that I told you about? I took $15 million at 1031 money? I never finished that story. And I went and bought 1,000 units. I know these are big numbers. Don't let the big numbers throw you off. Okay, you're like, oh my God, the numbers are so big. They're just zeros.
This is the portfolio when we moved to Florida.
This is when Grant Cardone became Grant Cardone. Okay, this is when you're like, I'm gonna make a bet. You don't need to do that on your first deal, but at some point in your career, start getting deals under your belt. I'll help you. I'll help you get the deals under your belt. Get me in your ear first, and then I'll get under your belt. Okay, I'll get on your side, not under your belt, but I'll get on your side. I'll get on your side. I'll be at the hip. I'll be at the hip. I don't think I'm gonna get under your belt, but I would if I could. I mean, it'd be cool if we did, right? Okay. But if we can make enough money, fuck it, I'll get into your belt too. Okay. So look, I took $15 million in 1031 money, which means this was sheltered, basically from a tax, or it's called deferred tax. The taxes were deferred to a later date, which I want to keep doing until one day I'm not around anymore, okay? I take the 2 buildings and I trade it up 500 times. I went from 2 houses, I went 1 house, traded into a 2nd house, remember that? I went from La Jolla to Los Angeles, did 1031s in 1 house to 1 house, and I told my wife, I'm like, this is stupid. We can live anywhere. Let's get wealthy now. She's like, what do you mean? I said, let's trade our house. I've done a La Jolla house. It was awesome. I did that. Me and you lived here in Lionel Richie's house. That was super cool. We had a lot of fun. Let's go get wealthy. She's like, what does that mean? I said, look, if we want to create real wealth for ourselves and real financial freedom, we have to give something up. And she's like, okay, I'm listening. She's like, I'm willing to give up something. And I said, we have to give up having our own house. We're going to take this money right here, this $15 million, and I'm going to trade it into 1,000 units that we don't live at. We're going to go rent where we live. We did. We moved to Miami.
Canyon Ranch.
Huh?
Canyon Ranch.
Also, we left the state of California so they quit hammering me on taxes. We went and rented a Canyon Ranch. Some of you, if you were following me back then, you remember me shooting videos from Canyon Ranch. And I bought 1,000 units for $58 million. I traded the entire $15 million. This is what I started today. I said, one deal can change your life. One deal. One deal, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to write this down. I want you to keep it in front of you. Get a little index card. Throw it on your wall. One deal can change your life. And you should be waking up every morning looking for that one deal. Okay? It might not be the first deal. It might not be the second deal. But you need to keep. And any of you that are willing to do this, let me know. I want to see that index card. Throw it up on Twitter. One deal can change my life. Grant Cardone. Just give me credit for it. And then throw it on your damn. Because I'm pulling for you to find that one deal. This one deal changed my life, okay? We went and bought this deal for $58 million. Let me tell you why I bought the deal. Number 1, it cash flowed. Number 2, 26 other people were in the final offers. You always want, one of my unbreakable rules, always, always, always have competition on the deal. Almost always. Like you want other people that want the deal, okay? We were definitely under the 1% rule. The 1% rule is what? The rents were $600 and I was paying $58,000 per unit. I'm like, I'm way under the 1% rule. Those rents today are $1,200 across the entire portfolio. Do you know what that did for the portfolio? The rents were $580 when I bought it. Okay, the rents went to up $700 times 1,000 units times 12. That's $8 million in new income. If I keep half of it, remember the 50% rule shared with you earlier? You might have missed it. That's $4 million worth of new NOI divided by 5. $84 million. Okay, and just so everybody understands that I have $84 million of new money on top of what I paid for the deal. Okay,
Which was 15 million.
which was
Because it's
58 million.
58 million, but you got 15 million in it.
Okay, but that portfolio today is worth $225 million because the rents did not stop. Okay, $15 million changed my net worth. So when you guys see the 300 million on Google, dude, Google doesn't even know about this one portfolio. That's one portfolio. I got another 9,000 apartments. Okay, I got 10,000 apartments that are doing this. So if you take the 225, what did I pay for the property?
58 million with 15 million down.
I put $15 million down. I let my brother and my sister in this deal. Did you get in? And Jared. I told a handful of people about it. I think I told Johnny, get in this deal. Okay, maybe not Johnny, but whoever listened to me got rich on this one deal. One deal can change your life, okay? Watch what happened, okay? I think I put 12 of this in. The rest of my family put in $3 million. I get paid a percentage of their upside. I think it's 65-35 or something. So I do good off of their money, but I gave them money, okay? So when you ever call here and I'm like, I'm giving you money, understand I could have done this deal without their money. So watch what happens. Remember, I paid $58 million for the deal. I borrowed $45 million. That was the first slug. After I owned this property for 5 years, I went back and borrowed $108 million against the value at that time. This is today's value. This is, I mean, we're moving into insanity land now. But I know I could sell that. I could sell it this weekend for $225. And somebody write me a check Monday morning. Okay, so I'm not exaggerating here. We've got a new loan for $108 million. What did I owe? $45 million. This was 2017. I got a check for $63 million. Let me just do this appropriately. I got a check for $63 million. I gave some to Jared. What did I give you?
435.
What'd you put it? How much you put in?
150, but that was after we refinanced it the first time.
Okay, so
Oh no! This was the first refinance.
yeah. So I gave him 400. He put in 100. I gave him 4 times his money back. I gave my sister a freaking slug of money, more money than she'd ever seen in her entire lifetime. I gave my twin brother a slug of money. I think I gave my brother $3 or $4 million back, and I kept $55 million for myself. 55 million, one time, bam! I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen that much money in my lifetime. Okay. The reason I never made that much money in my lifetime, I have never ever at one time earned that much money. Why? Because you really can't. A person can't earn that much money unless you're the CEO of
Amazon.
an Amazon or an Apple or Facebook. You cannot do it. Nobody. You cannot own a restaurant that's going to pay you that much money. Maybe the Prime 112, and you're going to make $50 million a year. Maybe. Until COVID comes and then you shut down. Remember, COVID shut down restaurants, churches, retail centers, car dealerships.
Bars, nightclubs.
No apartment buildings. No housing was shut down. Carnival Cruise Lines got shut down. So they had a bunch of dough until they didn't, right? So I get a check for $63 million. I parcel it out with all our investors. We still own the property. This property today, okay, now we owe 108. We still have $117 million of new equity. Equity increases our net worth. This is shared amongst our investors. Just that one portfolio, that's 1,000 units of the 9,200 I own, has got at least a net worth of $100 million. Plus, what is that thing? That thing cash flows probably $4 million a year. Is my portion. So every month I get a check for 300 grand out of that deal. How much money do I have in it? I don't have any money in it. Not only do I not have any money in it, I got my 15 million back. Plus I got, remember I only put 15 million to buy the deal. I got my 15 million back, bang, plus I think I had 55 out of this, plus $40 million in cash, and I still get non-taxable event, and I still get $4 million a year. Okay, so what did I do? What is the point of that story? Why am I telling you that? Dude, take the equity that you have in your home. I know many of you are probably asking the question online, and maybe we can look at some questions, Jared. Let's say you got a house today that's worth $800,000, and you owe $200,000 on it. Which, first of all, you shouldn't own $200,000. You ought to own $750,000 because you can write off up to $750,000 worth of interest. So you ought to max out the interest on it because you want to write it off. But you got $600,000. What you ought to do is you ought to go back to your bank if you want to stay in your house and continue to either live there or start renting your house out and borrow $600,000 in your house, borrow the $600,000, pay off the $200,000, okay? Pick up $400,000, keep the debt on the house, and then go buy some real estate with it. That's what I would recommend you do if you have equity, debt equity in a home. Okay? All right. Asset classes you should be looking at today. By the way, the website, a lot of people are asking about what is the website. What's the exact link, Jared?
GrantCardone.com/invest.
Okay, this is going to end when I end, folks. GrantCardone.com/invest. GrantCardone.com/invest. You get the resource book. You get a full guarantee. If you're not happy, just call my office. They'll send you the 997 back.
16-hour real estate course.
16-hour real
Shot in
estate
Turks
course.
and Caicos. Awesome.
With book,
Awesome.
okay? I shot it. I'm the only instructor in the entire 16-hour program. You get your home study manual. You get the ultimate resource guide, multifamily brokers, underwriting models, letter of intent templates, due diligence checklist, tenant notification, rental renewal templates, monthly reporting checklist, property budgets, agreement of sale, purchase and sale agreement, 1031 property information that I was sharing with you earlier. Plus you get, if you want to come to Miami, I'll give you a 3-day class, a seat. There's a $5,000 seat. We're going to include this for the first or next, how many can I do this for?
Probably 18.
18 people that take advantage of this. Grab this as fast as you can. If you don't make the come see it in person, if you don't make the first come first serve on if we run out of seats there, we'll get you the virtual. If you decide you don't want to come for the seat, I'll send it to you virtual. However you want to do it. Okay, so you got a guarantee. Also, if any of you need a payment plan. Okay, Jared said he's going to put a plan together for 2, but your 2 payments have to be done before you come down here in July. By the way, in July, part of what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take people that are bringing deals here and give some people an opportunity to pitch their deal to the audience. Should be 1,000 people here, maybe a few more than that. Guarantee it'll be a great event. Just to come to the summit would be worth. If you bought the ticket, it's $5,000. So we're giving you the ticket today, basically. So if you don't come to the event, don't ask for your money back because you didn't pay for the event. I'll give you money back for stuff you paid for, but I'm not going to give you money back for stuff you didn't pay for. So I'm giving you that. Also, starting Monday at noon, I'm going to include 6 exclusive private coaching calls. You can't buy this. You can't purchase it. It's not on my website. The only place to get it is right here. And I'll give you 6 weeks of coaching calls, noon Mondays, and the only people that can ask questions in that call are people that are part of this exclusive coaching call
program.
Okay, so assets. 7 reasons you should be buying real estate now, right now. Number 1, and I mentioned this earlier, it's a proven asset class. What's that?
The rest.
Oh, really? Okay, proven asset class. Number 2, capital preservation. Don't lose money, folks. I talk about this all the time. I didn't know I had that much to go. Don't lose money, don't lose money, and don't lose money, man. I never lose money. I've done this for 35 years. I have never, ever, ever, ever lost money in a real estate deal. I've lost money on stocks. I bought Lehman. I bought Twitter at $52. I watched that thing sink to 19. I got scared. Okay, I bought Facebook at $35. Watched it go to 14, got rid of it, watched it freaking zoom to like 215. I got scared. I don't want to lose money, man. I hate losing money. So capital preservation, protect your capital. Inflation is going to slam housing. 3. I met with Blackstone the other night, by the way. Let me just tell you about this capital preservation. Blackstone told me we're buying anything housing.
If somebody who doesn't know what Blackstone is.
Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, these are the biggest real estate investors in the world. It's not me.
Trillions in real estate holdings?
Trillions. Not these companies could gobble Apple. They could eat Apple and Amazon. Okay, this isn't Jeff Bezos money. This is the biggest money on the planet. So Blackstone raises $800 million a month. They raise that much. They go out and buy companies. They don't start companies. It's stupid to start a company. It's ridiculous.
Like buying building a piece of real estate rather than
why
buying
build it, man? Why build it? Just buy what's there. 3, cash flow when you sleep or die. You're gonna sleep and you're gonna die. Why not take care of your family? When my dad died, my dad did not have us set up to be taken care of with income. He had us set up with insurance. But the insurance, he dies, the insurance pays, then what? I need income, man. My mama needed income. Okay, because if you just get a big payment, I'm doing my estate right now, right? And they're like, hey, what do you want to do in case the kids die? Give them income. Don't give money. You give a kid a big chunk of money, they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? It's like taking care of a car. All they needed was a ride. I need a class. I don't need the school. Okay? 4, real assets versus what? What are you guys buying? Do you even know what you're buying in the ETF? You guys that have IRA money, 401k money, retirement money, you got money sitting at Charles Schwab or Fidelity. You don't even know what you're invested in. It ain't real. Okay? I always say, man, never trade paper for a piece of paper. Okay? This is education right here. A stock certificate. If you buy 10 shares of Facebook, you're just going to get a piece of paper. You don't own any of that company. You own a piece of paper that represents. Don't trade paper for paper. Get real assets that you can touch. Number 5, get a real asset that provides you with a tax advantage. Okay? You got real estate. Okay? You got BTC and you got stocks. Or you got cash. Which one of these is real? Not real. Not real. Not real. Okay, you're like, oh no, Bitcoin's more real than cash. That's the only argument you can have with me. By the way, I agree with that. Okay, but it's not more real. Which of these 4, if you can only answer one, which of the 4 is the most real? Okay, this is code. This is code created by someone. These are stocks. Total bullshit right here. And this is cash. Complete fiat garbage with lies all over it. I mean, it's lies. All kind of imagery. Like God's going to protect you and then God's got something to do with money. This is real. It's called real estate. It's real estate. Okay? Also, now, number 1, this has the real estate, the real advantage. Number 2, does it have, which one of these 4 has a tax advantage? Do you get a tax write-off when you buy Bitcoin?
Nope.
Do you get a tax write-off when you buy a stock? Do you get tax write-offs when you have cash? Cash and stocks are taxed. This has the biggest tax loopholes in the world, in every part of the world. Australia to Sydney, Sydney to Cincinnati, it's got a tax advantage. Number 6, long-term appreciation. It's not quick. It's not going to go up 1,000% overnight unless you can raise the rents. Long-term appreciation. Number 7, the leverage. Like we expect 15% to infinite returns. We don't tell our investors we expect infinite returns, but I can tell you the deals that you're looking at right there, that I'm showing you pictures of right there, that Panama City deal that I bought, I projected a 15% return. Our investors don't know it. That property right there, that was 360 units, I think. What does that say? 380?
360, yeah.
360. I bought that property for $190,000 a unit. 250 times 360. I know it's worth $250 a door right now. I bought it less than 2 years ago. That property's worth $90 million, and I paid
68.
68. Okay, 68 million. We put $24 million down on the deal. I could sell that thing today, pick up 22 million.
Is that
Okay.
retreat? Or
I'm probably
breakfast
100% return on my money on that deal right now. What deal is that? Is that?
Breakfast Point, PCB, or
it's
retreat?
Which one's the biggest?
Retreat.
Yeah.
That's the 68 number I gave you.
Yeah, $68 million is what I paid. I could probably sell that deal today for $90 million. Is that 22 million? 20. I have a profit of $22 million. I only put. Let me see what I put in that deal. 68. I'm so conservative now. We put 23.8. I'd have 100% return. I've been in the deal. I've been in that deal, ladies and gentlemen, 3 years. So 100% plus the cash flow divided by 3. That's a 33% return on the investor's money. 33%. What did I tell them it was going to be? 15. I'm double. Now, what I'll probably do with this deal is I won't sell it. That's what I'm going to do.
Refi.
Oh, yes, I'm going to refi. I'm going to go back to the bank.
King
and say, "Bank,
Kang
big
with the Ting Kang.
I'm gonna be like bank. I said, babe, bank. Why don't you give me a loan? Why don't you give me like a 75% loan on that bad boy times 0.75? Okay, I'm gonna get a $68 million loan. I paid $68 million. Check it out. I paid 68. I put 22 down. I financed 46 million. They're gonna take and pay the $46 million. What are you yelling about? Okay? I'm going to walk away. I'm going to give the investors back. I'm going to pay the loan off. I got the loan paid off. I'm going to take a new loan out. I'm going to pay the investors back their money, 100% of the money back to the investors. And we're going to own 360 units. 360 units. Okay? The rents at that property right now are probably $1,500. We're going to own these for who knows how long. Okay? And I'm not going to do this deal. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to wait till these rents are $2,000, and I'm going to probably go back to the bank and do it again. 360. Okay, another $180,000 a year. This never stops, by the way. This isn't like me. I got to come up with a new funnel. If I can do this, if I can increase the value of that property another $500 per rent, go from $1,500 to $2,000 to live close to the beach in Panama City, I'm going to create another $36 million worth of value. How much money will I have in it right here? 0. Okay. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is, what are my returns? We're into the land of thunder bunnies and fantasies and unicorns and bullshit. Because the return is infinite. What do I project to our investors? 15%. That's our public proclamation. Look, man, I'm going to do 15%. Targeted. We're going to do 5 or 6% cash flow. Okay, my target is 15%. You know what my fantasy is? Infinite returns. We literally own the real estate. We return the capital. You cannot do this in any asset class. Unless you bought something where the value shot up so high that you're like, I'm just going to sell out one share and pay back my initial position. Okay? All right. Okay, the priorities. When you leave here today, what are you doing when you leave here? If you don't have anything to study, you're not going to do anything. You're going to be like, okay, that was good. What do I do now? Off to the next thing. Now you're going to go to the clubhouse. You're going to go to the trap house. You're going to go to the... What are you going to go do now? You need information, okay? You need information. Okay? You got to understand, in real estate, there's priorities. Okay? The priorities go like this. Number one, the real estate is senior to everything. So what do you need to do first? The first most important thing you need to do is you need to understand that the real estate, not the numbers. This is the most important thing. That's why everybody's like, what are your returns? Bro, look, I appreciate the question. I got it. I know you're interested in the cash flow, the expected, anticipated upside. Bro, why don't you ask about the location? You know, we never have investors. Tell me about the real estate grant. They're all asking about the numbers. What do you think drives the numbers? So understand that in real estate, the priority is number one is the asset class you're buying. Okay, what is the real estate? What is the property? What is the location? What is the possibility? Where is it located? I'll show you a deal right now we just bought that is just a ridiculous deal. In the hottest market I have ever been in my career, and we found a deal off market. Number two, what is the underwriting for the deal? Okay, you got to know how to underwrite a deal without me calling the broker.
Worst case.
And saying, I need to see your financials. I write deals every day where I don't have the financials. I had a guy write me the other day, hey man, we got $200 million and we're interested in buying part of your portfolio. I'm like, okay, good. Underwriting. He's like, I need to see your numbers. I'm like, fuck. Dude, if you can't do the math on my shit, then you're not real. I can do the math on your shit. You give me any building anywhere in America, okay? Unless I don't know the market. You give me a deal in San Antonio, you give me a deal in Austin, give me a deal in Bakersfield, California, or Los Angeles, Hollywood, Sacramento, Boise, Idaho. I have to do a little research in Boise, Salt Lake City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Boston. Man, you just give me 5 minutes. You tell me how many units, I'll tell you what that thing's worth. You don't need to tell me anything else. You give me the address of the property. You tell Houston, Texas. Tell me North Bay, tell me Miami, Fort Lauderdale, tell me Homestead. You just tell me where the damn thing is. Birmingham, Huntsville, Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, Savannah, Georgia. Show me the deal, bruh. You tell me how many units. Just give me the freaking address. I don't need to know anything else. Let me see your rent roll. You need a rent roll. I don't need one. I need some toilet paper. I'm going to take a shit and underwrite this deal on a piece of toilet paper. By the way, I underwrite all my deals are underwritten on a piece of paper like this. If somebody here's got a deal with over 200 units, we got a phone number? What's the phone number, Johnny? Will they bomb us right now?
305-865-8668.
If you got a deal over 200 units that you know you can get, 305-865-8668. 8668. I'm going to take one call, and we're going to underwrite somebody's deal. I don't need to know anything. I don't need to see your financials. You guys use that. I'm waiting for the guy to give me underwrite. That's stupid, man. That's not the market you're in, okay? You need to underwrite a deal for worst case scenario, and you need to be able to do it on a piece of paper with a pen without a bunch of data. Number three, how do you communicate with the buyer? This is so important. The calm with the broker, not the buyer.
Broker,
with
yeah.
the broker. Unless there is no broker, how do you talk to buyers? I'm sorry, not buyers, sellers. Okay? Communicating with the broker is everything. How do you set the hook in this down? One of the things that I talk about in our course, grantcardone.com/invest, grantcardone.com/invest, grantcardone.com. One of the first, I think it's the third chapter of the 16-hour course, I say, man, when you call the broker, the hardest part of a deal is getting the broker to call you back, believe it or not. Once you find the deal and once you underwrite it, guess what? You can't link that up without communication. I got to get the guy on the phone and say, I'm your boy, I'm your guy, okay? How you communicate with the broker is going to determine whether you get the deal or not. You want to write this down. You can't make money on a deal you don't own. Man, I'm glad we got this fixed. I feel good about it.
Right?
So we have a caller.
You cannot get a deal you don't own. Okay, let him in, Johnny.
So you got Nixon from New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, I know Louisiana. So tell me about your deal and raise the volume, Johnny.
You there?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Tell me about your deal.
Yes, I called today to ask you guys if you guys have any advice. I don't have any deals. I'm just an 18-year-old.
Kill
No,
it.
dude.
Kill it.
Johnny,
You gotta
make
screen
sure.
the calls.
Johnny,
You gotta-
what's the deal? Johnny, what's the deal? What's the deal? Don't jack with me, man. Come on, man. Shit. This is real deal shit, guys. Look, like that call right there. Let me tell you something. You do that with a broker, they'll never call you back again. And this is what a lot of people are doing in real estate today. You guys are you sound flaky when you make a phone call. Johnny, turn your mic off. You guys sound flaky when you make a phone call. I remember when that hurricane hit Houston. What was the name of that hurricane? Remember?
Katrina?
No.
Irma.
Was it Irma? I think it was Irma. Irma, the floods. You know what happened? People started calling Houston. Hey, I want to come in. I want to come into Houston. You know why they wanted to come to Houston? They thought there was a bloodbath in Houston, and they all sounded like idiots. I had brokers tell me that. Man, every day we're getting phone calls from these bottom feeders. So when you start getting those phone calls, you start sounding like you're a bottom feeder. Nobody wants to talk to you. Okay, number four. Johnny, I went black. Okay, number 4, writing a compelling offer. How do you write a compelling offer? Is it an LOI or is it, hey guys, or is it a PSA? Okay, how do you do that? Who do you talk to? Every seller wants something different. How do you find out from the broker? Hey dude, what's a compelling offer? Other than price. I'll give you some of the clues. Like I'm on a call with a guy. Hey dude, other than price, what matters here? Okay?
Powerful question.
Other than